And welcome back, everybody, to ESA Siege, the very first playday of the two for champions this week. I am joined, of course, by Slayzilla, and it's me, Link. Slay did the introduction earlier. We decided to switch it off, try and switch things up a little bit. Speaking of switching things up, we got Valkyrie versus Powerhaus for the second series of the night. Valkyrie are in a bit of a better standing. Let me check it real quick. Yeah, they are currently second, where with Powerhaus, they're a little bit lower down. They're in sixth place with 1 point. We're going to get into the map bans and try to get into this game as quick as possible.
They are in second, and let's check out the map bans. So first off, the first ban that came out was going to be Oregon. Oregon got sidelined, so unfortunately we won't be seeing the lovely map of Oregon. After Oregon got I just burped. Coastline got banned after Oregon. And from there, we saw Clubhouse and Cafe pick. So that's pretty exciting. We haven't seen Clubhouse or Cafe picked before tonight. Theme Park, that's a joke, by the way. Theme Park going to get banned, with finally Villa being banned once again, leaving Consulate as our final map. Let's see if we need it. Now, the thing about Valkyrie is they are in second place, but they haven't lost a game yet. So the same with Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse is above them because HNC automatically forfeited when they disbanded, so they kind of get that extra little stat. But Valkyrie right there with the undefeated camp, so it's going to be really exciting to see if Valkyrie can keep that up. I'm excited to see that is going to happen.
I am as well, and it's kind of similar to the last game. We have a team that isn't doing too hot in the standings, going against someone that is, well, a bit above them, to say the least. And with Valkyrie and Powerhaus, that gap is even more excessive and even larger. Valkyrie, as you said, they're basically in first place. The only reason they're not is because the team above them, Slaughterhouse, got a bye. So we're seeing a top-tier team going against someone like lower down in the standings. And of course, since the bans are, or the picks were Club and Cafe, we're seeing those same two maps that we just casted already. So we'll be seeing some of the same similar strategies come out. We're still waiting on one final player from Valkyrie, but again, just going off of those standings, if we were to just go into some predictions, I think this is probably going to be a 2-0 for Valkyrie. Would be my safe and guess, I suppose.
You know, that does seem to be the way that Valkyrie likes to go. For 3 of their games, which is all 3 they've won, have been 2-0s, and those are against some pretty good teams. They went against Nomads, which is the highest on the list. But I guess then they went against HNC and Visionary, who were at the bottom with 0. And so
True.
Valkyrie at that undefeated level. But I'm really, really excited for when they go against Slaughterhouse and Homeland Academy. When they face these pretty big names, that is when it's going to get exciting. However, that doesn't happen for quite a bit of time. That'll be 2 weeks before Slaughterhouse and Valkyrie go head to head. But I'm very excited to see that happen. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think when we get to those series, those are going to be some really good games. That's when we really see those top tier teams in ESA champions right now duke it out and try to see which one is the best. Now, obviously, with HNC disbanding, the bye getting thrown into the mix, it makes things a bit more complicated, but doesn't mean that we're not going to be denied any more great series. Now, of course, that's in the future. Let's go into Clubhouse right now. Again, still waiting on that final player. But going into Clubhouse, if I believe, Valkyrie are, yes, they're starting on the attack for both of their sides. Now, that's something we don't normally see for a teams, and that makes me think that their attacks might be something to really stomp Powerhaus going into those first rounds.
Yeah, I mean, Valkyrie is definitely a scary team. We do have the R's, so we're ready to go. Fantastic. X24 last week, if you didn't know, played on a MacBook while on vacation. It was a spectacle to behold. It was really, really funny. But he's back home, ready to go, and we're gonna start on the bans here. Let me pull my tablet of notes up as I am advanced with the technology. This is going to be real fun to get started on. Big plays to be had by both teams, but it could be a big upset if Powerhouse is able to come out on top. Good lunch, have fries comes out from X24 as we are ready to go. Maverick, surprisingly, going to be the first ban here in Clubhouse. Wow.
Whoa, crazy. That's wild. It's not really. We're being sarcastic. Maverick being a surprise ban, we're like me saying Amaru is a viable pick in the meta currently. It's not true. Maverick, he's traditionally banned most of the time on Clubhouse, and Valkyrie took a long time to decide what their next ban would be, and it's not going to be a Thatcher like we saw last time or like we normally see. What instead it's going to be is a Thermite, something that we don't often see, but can be very impactful. with Maverick and Thermite both taken off the board, getting Plat Wall on that CC bomb site is going to be a greater pain in the side for Valkyrie, the team starting out on the attack. They'll take out Echo in exchange. No Yokais will be in play. And again, we're seeing some similar bans to that initial Visionary matchup that we had previously. But with that Thermite, that is a stark difference, and a major one at that.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm really excited to see what is gonna be happening here. And kind of interesting, man. I mean, 2 hard breachers off the roster is definitely gonna be tough to see. You'll have the Hibana and the Thatcher played almost every single round, I'm sure. And that's going to make it a little bit more difficult, perhaps, for the guys to break in, especially when you're talking about different sites. Like, I mean, I feel like Clubhouse almost always requires, or not requires, but is seen with those 2 hard breachers, and it's usually going to be the Thermite and Hibana couple. But we will see that Thatcher Hibana. This, I mean, it's a good combo too. Thatcher is a great guy to have. But I mean, it's still possible to get a bandit trick going on, and with Hibana with limited pellets and a lot of work to do, I'm skeptical for how this attack could go. But then again, it is Valkyrie, and we've seen some crazy things happen before.
We certainly have, but what worries me most about these attacks is that with Valkyrie starting out, they chose to ban the Thermite and restrict themselves solely to Hibana as their main hard breacher. I hope they have a plan. Surely they accounted for the possibility of Maverick getting banned out, since that ban, along with Thatcher, is the most common. And with choosing to ban Thermite, we might not be seeing Plat Wall be all that much of a focus for the attack. Garage is usually necessary, so we'll probably see some pressure in there no matter what. But we have seen teams in the past with the Hibana in play go for a push over by construction, opening that small cache wall that you can see right with those 2 small reinforcements. And that's really the only viable spot. You could try to go for Plat Wall, but what are you going to do? Try and go for a crouch hole and hope you can run in crouched with the plant down? It's going to be testy for Valkyrie, but they're top of the standings right now. If anybody can do it, it's them.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that we've seen be very, very confident. Some would say a little bit too confident when it comes off as a cocky, and sometimes that can be rough, especially in chat, man. But this is a good team, and they know they're good. So let's see if at the end of the day, this is going to be a big, big problem for Powerhaus. You see them now ready to get on into that wall when they can, trying to get a lot of information. Only 30 seconds have passed, so they're still doing a lot of setup, a lot of droning. Look at all the little roly-polies gathering information. I mean, you can get a lot of great intel ready to go. And here we look at the Capitao. Capitao's another one that can be banned quite often too, as he really, really does a good job at denying potential bandit tricking with his lovely fire bolts. The man's scary, but it's going to be Powerhaus to open up first. Mr. B goes down, and well, bye-bye Valkyrie. Better than losing your hard breaching Hibana, as if you lose Hibana, well, that's GG for any hard walls. That is going to be rough, man, with just 1 hard breacher.
That is true. It's going to be rough with only the Hibana. It's going to be much harder with Mr. B taken off the board. No Ashe means that Zofia would have been the main one to try and deny the bandit tricking from below. And with those concussions, she can also burn magnets and ADSs. It'll be the Capitao's job in exchange to try and push that bandit off the wall, and he will, successfully. With a firebolt and a well-placed shot, a couple shots to the body, he takes him out. Jaeger will take out 1 more, but Blastful inside of Jim will vault through the window and take out that Jaeger. So most of the roamers are now currently taken off the board, and with Bandit, that's your C4, and one of the 2 that Powerhaus had in their arsenal. Big Guy will still have one playing on the top of red stairs. Get a little shot of smoke going prone behind that deployable shield that's right next to the bomb chassis, meant to repel any push from construction, which, lucky for him, is exactly where Valkyrie is focusing all 3 of their remaining bodies in the final minute of the round. They'll use 2 of their X-Skyros to try and make the execute come out, but once the Toxic Babes start flying, and a C4 that could potentially be brought down below with a rotate down red stairs, Valkyrie, they're going to need a lot to make this round in their favor.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit sketchy at this point with, like you said, time running down. It is going to take a lot, and that'll start off great. Blastful takes 1 down, but he'll be traded out immediately by Big Guy, taking the man out. It's a 2v2 with time dwindling very quickly, and at this point, Valkyrie have got to think, have we made a big mistake here? Shots coming out looking for the kill. Good grief, gonna find it unrated, and now it's a 1v2 situation for 24, but he gets it anyway! X24, the man is a legend on and off of the MacBook. Oh my goodness, finds one, finds two as he tries to run away. That is fantastic.
He's off the MacBook into the fray, and a great 1v2 clutch by the Sledge to make it work for Valkyrie, and a round that, in all honesty, looked staunchly against them in terms of winning. They all had to push through construction. They weren't able to get Plaidwall open, which is understandable considering that your only hard breacher is Hibana, and they also didn't even have garage control. Glyph on the Wamai was still standing there the entire time. Even with only 2 remaining, they still have all the angles covered if you're only pushing through one door. But again, sometimes the defender's positioning, it's just off, and it takes those kinds of plays to make the round work. And X24, what a great statement to make, showing that even when the odds are so stacked against them, Valkyrie, they'll still put you on the back feet. They'll make you worried. They'll make you make mistakes, and they'll end up pulling out those round wins. Great job to X24 and the rest of the team.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that was such a clutch. Poor guy was just trying to run away, try to get out of there, and he absolutely got denied. Oh, Valkyrie's just able to do crazy stuff like this. When it just doesn't look good, they just turn it on. Powerhaus, I really haven't seen too much of, but I'm sure that they're going to be able to put on a good show for us tonight. But boy, oh boy, I have seen Valkyrie quite a bit, and they every time just seem to impress me more and more. So let's see if Powerhaus can keep up with these guys. Gumine's going down on the main stairs as we see Glyph come out on the Legion, a great operator. We do have the Mute Mozzie combo, which is usually indicative of a very, very extended vertical roam, and you can see Crank up there ready to do just that on the second floor, as well as got a couple guys already moving in, ready to go. Quite the extend roam. Only 2 guys actually down by side, and that could cause problems if teams are able to read into this. We've seen it before. They just rush directly into sight and absolutely destroy them before they have a chance to rotate back, and that could be a big problem if Valkyrie is able to read into it.
You're absolutely right. That is a major issue with these extended holds, is that if you're one, if you draw out and realize what they're doing, and B, the defenders aren't coordinated enough to get those rotates back to sight, you'll have an attacking team just cut through the 1 or 2 defenders actually on the bomb site downstairs, and you've got 3 defenders that are making their way back, but it's just not enough time before the plant goes down. But thankfully, a minute in, it looks like that Valkyrie, they're going to be taking it much more slowly and going for a much more orthodox approach, clearing top down over by west side. They've opened that jacuzzi wall, and they're getting some map control over by logistics and bedroom and gym. The defenders aren't playing that much over there. Crank, big guy, and there was the Valk, who is now rotated down, but those 2 defenders, they'll be the main ones playing over by Cash that the attackers will have to clear out. Esteem will fire some shots over towards the Mozzie, but no will land in either direction. And Crank has taken about 2 HP of damage. Not entirely sure where that's from, but it's pretty much negligible. Not going to play much of a factor going into the later minutes and seconds of the rest of the round. And the more time ticks away, the more I'm starting to get worried for Valkyrie. Crank will be put to extremely low HP, but it's still a minute 15 left, and they haven't cleared out these 2 roamers up top. Now that Valkyrie's rotated down with a C4, Valkyrie are in a dangerous position if they don't speed up these attacks.
Yeah, so this is exactly what you want out of that extended roam, is to just be able to slow these guys down so much. And we're already at the final minute. They've slowed them down great. VOK will be able to open up with the first kill. That's a big guy going down to Rated, but immediate refrag comes out. Or excuse me, another frag comes out from Esteem, taking down yet another Powerhaus member. Crank goes down, and all of a sudden, things have swung into the possibility of Valkyrie taking this one out, but it's still going to be very tough. They're going to have to push in with time running down quite quickly. Now putting the pressure onto the guy sitting down here, the meatball man himself, Maestro, has to be a little bit cautious, and that was not what he was looking for. Takes down Phyllis, and all of a sudden, we could see some trouble. It's a 2v5, but time ticking down so quickly. This is going to be the craziest rush. How many Gumines just went off there? Good grief. Yeah, Habini going to find that real easy on a Mr. B. This is going to go badly. I feel it with a 1v3 situation. And it's a little bit of a TK onto Rated. They do get down. They're going to be able to get the plant down. This very well could go the way of Valkyrie. And just like that, it does as Blastful finds Habini. These guys are just great at winning these very, very tight situations exactly when they need to.
I mean, in every single situation, once again, Valkyrie, it looked like they were making mistakes, but maybe they were just allowing the defenders upstairs to just have their map control, have their cash, have their construction, and we'll just go push Kishin and it's a done day after that. It was a 1v3 by the very end, mostly due to a team kill by X24, but maybe he was just trying to even the odds, make it a fair fight for Powerhaus. As you saw with that extended hold upstairs, while they were up in construction and Jim and Cash for such a long time, they just had a Steam on flank watch sitting inside of logistics, waiting for the mute to make a rotate. And well, once it happened, he ended up getting taken out. The Mozzie as well got taken down by the Hibana, repelled outside of kitchen. And yeah, that's just the exact kind of plays that really describe Valkyrie. Even when there are obstacles, they don't break them. They just find ways around them. The impact trick on kitchen hatch, well, we just won't blow it up. We'll just push down main stairs and kill all of you. We'll get the map control we need on site because you're just not going to be able to out-frag us. And so far, Valkyrie, despite the hard breach bans and despite Powerhaus pulling out some solid strategies, they're in the driver's seat.
They absolutely are, man. They are taking these guys to town, and if Powerhaus can't stop them, we very well could see a quick map 1. Especially when Valkyrie switched out of defense, they're going to be very powerful there too. So it's up to Powerhaus now to try to get these rounds in their favor. And it looked so good for them multiple times. 2 rounds in a row, it looked really good for Powerhaus, but I just don't know how Valkyrie is able to do it so consistently. They can just win out these fights. As look at all those ADSs going down in blue, really trying to slow them down here. As let's see how this will go. They have decided instead of the mute Mozzie a little bit more of a turtle strategy, which could work very well if they are able to survive. But losing people just through the floorboards is definitely not what they want to do. And that was an unfortunate end for Maestro in that previous round.
Certainly was. Glyph, the adjustment he made from the Legion to the Pulse, handing off that role to Big Guy. And it's not that same extended hold that we saw last time from Powerhaus, playing it pretty much entirely on the bomb site. Glyph residing in Pulse spot. He'll be a pain for the attackers if they aren't able to drone him out properly. I'm not sure if it was a 6-pick, I don't entirely recall, but either way, even if they know the Pulse is on the board, the fact that they don't have an IQ means he's gonna be a bit in the wind, but holes from above will make his job a lot harder and make the attacking team's job a lot safer. X24 will continue to be undaunted and break open those ceilings. C4, not even a factor in his mind. He's just a singular-minded man. He's got a job, and he will continue to do it. The adjustment they need to make, though, is functioning around this impact tricking that we saw and that we're likely going to see from Phyllis this time. They weren't able to open that kitchen hatch, and if they have the coverage necessary, they're... What kind of a frag grenade was that? He threw it on the floor and he tried to break open the floor beneath the grenade to try and have it drop down, but instead, he just did a whole heck of a lot of damage to his team. X24 only on 1 HP due to that blunder. Blastful, the other SAS operator, despite him being on lower HP as well, manages to take out Phyllis, the person impact tricking last time on that Maestro. Now it's a 4-5 with kitchen hatch open. Valkyrie once again in such a strong position.
Oh, absolutely, man. It is actually insane. I mean, 2 hard breachers off the board with the Maverick gone, as well as the I always say Thatcher when I mean Thermite. The Thermite gone too means that these guys are
not
unfortunate
again.
little
Not
kill
again.
there. Valkyrie and their team kills seem to come out more often than not so far. They're 2 for 3 in rounds of TKs, so a little bit sketchy there. But I mean, you know, whatever you want. If they end up losing that would be really, really hard for them to swallow. But with 35 seconds, they're ready to start getting into this execute, trying to find the man on stairs there. But look at this, already pushing in. They're ready to go. The plant looking to go from rated. Does Power even know that he's here?
Oh, yes, they do.
Placed smoke is going to absolutely demolish him. Oh, that was nice. Glyph with another onto his Steam, and all of a sudden it's a 2v4 situation with time running out desperately. Not looking great, but Blastful continues to frag out. They're going to have to get the plant immediately down. Crank goes down too. It's a 2v1 in favor of Powerhaus, but Blastful needs to be able to do this. A triple kill, but time will run out, and Powerhaus takes the round. Good grief, that was way too close than I thought it was going to be.
That's true, and that team kill looking a bit major in the rearview mirror of Valkyrie. You know, a bit unfortunate, happened 2 rounds in a row, but hey, you still got 2 rounds on attack. You can afford to let a mistake slip by every now and then, but they do have to stop team killing their teammates if they want to try and pull these rounds in continuously. That was a great coordinated play by the smoke to have the smoke go out. He knew that he wasn't going to be able, that the planter would have had time to stick the plant despite the smoke. It would have been close, but he had time. So they decided, well, we'll just lob an impact grenade over there and he'll definitely die then. And that's exactly what happened. The impact grenade landed perfectly. That was a 10 out of 10 shot all the way from church to hit the impact grenade right against the planter. And at that point, the smoke could have been detonated 10 seconds ago, and even the remnants of it would have still killed rated on that Hibana. Powerhaus, if they pull out rounds like that, which I'm curious as to why we haven't seen that same kind of coordinated play previously. Not to say they've been uncoordinated, but again, they rarely showed that last round why they can contend with Valkyrie if they continue playing like that.
Absolutely, man. I mean, they were able to do a good job. Blastful tries his best, but I mean, he also killed his teammate. Granted, X24 was at minimal HP, but I mean, still, it could have changed something. Powerhaus might see a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel here. It looked so dire for them in those opening 2 rounds, but it's just 2 rounds. And with another round, Powerhaus can tie up Valkyrie. I mean, they can definitely contend with these guys, and I think that's what they need to be able to recognize. If they feel confident enough to be able to, like, yeah, we can play with these guys. We are in the Champion League. We're playing with the big dogs. We can compete here. Then I think they'll have such a better time trying to go through and defeat these guys. It's all about the mentality sometimes. You have to be able to play well, but you also have to be able to think well and just have your mind in the correct place. That saying, Valkyrie is all about trying to mess them up as here we go again. A lot of bolo charms coming out. Very pretty indeed. As this is round number 4 already. Valkyrie up 1 as just about 30 seconds have passed by.
And nothing crazy in terms of map control taken so far. And here we are back on that CCTV bomb site. That is incredibly difficult with only 1 hard breacher. Last time it was 1, thanks to an amazing effort by X24 and a bit of a mistake coming out from the Valkyrie that vaulted over red stairs and got caught out on that rotate. But if Valkyrie managed to make it more like that basement round that was much more coordinated and they don't end up team killing, I think they still have a chance to pull this round. But this is one that Powerhaus looked like they were going to be able to win. And if they play it similarly, they will likely end up happening. They'll use their Hibanas over on Platwall this time as they're able to drive that bandit off of the wall a bit quicker than they did last time. And there's Zofia not being taken out early on in the round. It's certainly something that Valkyrie will feel blessed by. Grank not feeling so blessed as he gets 25 HP taken out from below, but he can still walk away feeling relatively confident in his play. Nothing all that crazy gone off the board for him. And the final bit of X-Kairos will be used on that garage wall. X24 will look to go and prone to try and toss some frag grenades up towards Glyph. But there's an ADS and a magnet up there. They still have to burn those out. But a Thatcher on the board means it'll be no problem. That's why you love it when a Thatcher's on the board. It makes quick work of that utility. Raider will take out 1. Esteem will take out Glyph on the rotate, trying to dodge that fire. And now Powerhaus, despite the fact that they look strong on their first CC defense, they're on the back foot in a 3v5.
Yeah, this is looking a little bit tough for Powerhaus. They still have some good positioning, but Crank low on HP. Everyone on Valkyrie looking pretty healthy besides X24, tagged up for, about 60 down. Or, okay, Blastful does take down Crank as well. Now in a 5v2 situation, it's Habini and Phyllis in a very tough one. 40 seconds, but we've seen that time doesn't really matter to Valkyrie. They're able to somehow just clean things up immensely quickly as Capitao still making his work known as those firebolts can cause big issues for a team. Smoke going to come down now as it'll be X24 finding the frag, but Blastful goes down to Phyllis. What a shot from the Bandit. And now a nice little C4 going to come up a little bit too late, and this could spell doom. No, maybe not. Phyllis in the 1v3 finds 1, but can't find another as X24 shuts him down with the SMG-11. And once again, it will go the way of, ooh, look at that. Nice little sledgehammer.
For about half a second, Phyllis made it look like it could have potentially gone in the way of Powerhaus. She hit a very nasty shot, a hip-fire one on top of that, or hip-fire headshot, I should say. And with the second kill, it looked like, again, maybe could have pulled it off, but that C4 just 1 second too late. But honestly, she wouldn't have been able to get it off anyway. She already got lucky with that shot that she got. I actually don't. I've been saying she. I just assume Phyllis is a girl's name, but I'm not entirely sure the gender of the player. But either way, I digress. Got lucky with that shot onto the person holding red stairs, and it would have taken a miracle to get that C4 off in time. And Powerhaus, they just didn't look in control of that round. Valkyrie looked so much stronger, and with these attacks they've had, Valkyrie, they're looking to run away with it on this half, and they'll have an easy time in defense if that's the case.
They really will. It's gonna get interesting if Valkyrie continues to play like this. We're already on round number 5, which means there's only 2 left. It's getting tough right now. Powerhaus desperately looking for a place to win, and they need to if they want to have at least some kind of a chance. But Valkyrie, like I said, are going to be in a great position because they've already confirmed at least a 3-3 half. And I could definitely see them going for more. This is Valkyrie talking about. The team has not lost so far. Of course, we haven't seen them against the other top teams, which I still am so very excited for. But Powerhaus needs to be able to give them for a run for their money. And they're looking to start on Gym Bedroom. One of the offsites, but you mentioned it last time we were here, which wasn't too long ago at all, that just because it's a tertiary site doesn't mean it's considerably weaker than others. It's just the one that goes third.
It's just the one you go to last, and that certainly doesn't mean it's bad by any means. It's the one side Powerhaus haven't gone to so far, which means they have a fresh start and potentially could get around one in their favor with some strats that Valkyrie might not expect. But so far, it's looking just like the standard Gym Bedroom hold. The one exception is they've got to rotate on red. Last match with Visionary, we saw that entire wall was reinforced, but instead this time they have a deployable shield, and Glyph utilizing that will get the very first kill onto Mr. B playing behind it. Esteem, he's got a long angle all the way over by Garage, but he misses all his shots, and Crank manages to get away. He will continue to hold that angle, though, but now the attack, they have one less person to take out these 2 roamers playing inside of Cash, and with those concussions and Destructive Zophia's gone, it's going to be a lot harder, and now with the Thatcher off the board, it's going to be immensely difficult. Phyllis just residing inside of the Maestro. The attack have so little in terms of manpower to try and make this work, but X24, he's looking to bring it back. He takes out Glyph. We've got the double kill previously, and the Omai being taken off the board, and Esteem getting another one onto the Maestro means even with that man disadvantage, they've managed to make that headway into Cash, and they've evened the man count on top of that. With all the defenders rotating back to side, Valkyrie, they've managed to bring it back in such short little time.
It looked a little bit bad for them, but Valkyrie's one of those teams where, I mean, a lot of times I like to see that, or I feel like I see that the opening pick really says a lot about how the round's going to go. Valkyrie is not one of those teams. They're able to do, oh man, right into an ADS. That is a feel-bad moment. But these guys are able to come back from really tough situations. I think that's what makes them one of the best in the league, is their adaptability. They're able to take a rough situation and somehow make it into an absolute precious gemstone of some sort. And it's going to be up to Powerhaus to really shut them down. They still got a minute to go as Crank is looking to come around here. Could potentially get a kill, but it won't be. It'll be 24 finding Crank. It's looking a little bit rough now in a 2v3 situation. X24 very low in HP, but the other two looking quite healthy. 40 seconds left as it's going to be Big Guy and Habini left alone. 2 operators that you would like to have at the end of the round. Perhaps you'd rather have Phyllis there as the Maestro. But Smoke is definitely someone great there. Finds a great shot. Talkative great onto rated 2v2 now. Ooh, but here comes X24. He'll find him with a little bit of sneaky shot. 1v2 for Habini with just 20 seconds left. Diffuser is down in the bedroom, but it looks like his team might be able to pick it up. Both of them very low in HP. Habini could definitely do something big here. Gonna swing out. He has 1 gas canister left, I believe. No, he has none. He used them all, so it's gonna have to be an absolute face check. And oh, Diffuser down. He pulls out the M5, back to the SMG. Oh, X24 is down. And now it's all upon Esteem. This is going to be so crazy. Gets a little shot onto him, but not the head. This is a battle for a lifetime. Now swinging around, but he gets him anyway. What a job. The triple kill comes out for Habini, and he will win the round for Powerhaus. They have secured yet another clutch round. These guys fighting like none other.
I mean, you saw how close it was with Habini in that bathroom. Esteem shot a firebolt in there, and Esteem's one little corner that he ran to for safety didn't get caught by the fire. It just didn't propagate enough that far. And as a result, he was able to stay alive and make that 1v2 clutch. I mean, that's just one of those situations where, sure, maybe the Sledge could have held a better angle. Maybe he could have been more aggressive on it, tried to get an angle around that deployable shield. But sometimes it just comes down to luck in this game. Habini, he just got lucky with that fire, and it was just a bit off the mark for Esteem. And he came back and he clutched that 1v2. An absolute amazing play by the Smoke. But again, while that is a great play, you're still down 2-3 on Clubhouse defense. You're going to have, that's a big high five moment, a big momentum booster. You've still got a long hill to climb, and going into the final round of this half, if you're not looking strong in your defense, you don't close at 3-3, you're in danger of Valkyrie running away with it.
Honestly, this is I mean, it was a great moment, like you said, but it is still a dire situation for Powerhaus. Oh man, but you know, you said momentum booster. Will that be enough momentum to get these guys into another win? Church has so far been a 50-50 for these guys. You saw once Valkyrie just dominated it, was able to get some nice last-minute kills and take them all out. On the other time, it was dominated by Powerhaus. So, gonna be really interesting here to see if it will go the way of Powerhaus to tie it up 3-3. But even if so, you're gonna be facing Valkyrie on defense, a commonly and traditionally defender-sided map, which has been changed around, I feel like, in recent games. I guess it sometimes does depend on who's playing, as Granny did mention that they specifically like to go for attacks, and I did watch them get a 7-0 on Clubhouse starting on the attack. It was absolutely insane. And at this point, Powerhaus have secured at least a 4-2, which is a lot better than a 5-1 or a 6-0. So, I mean, they have a chance, but they need to be able to get the 3-3 if they want to stay competitive on the first map.
As you mentioned, the last time they did play Basement, they ended up winning it out. So, of all the sites they could have gone to and had the option to go to, this certainly was the best option. And they have good precedents previously for winning and possibly putting up a win this match. It's a fairly similar lineup. I don't believe the Kayad was brought last time. But with the Thatcher in play, that's going to be minimal time wasted since he can just throw an EMP right next to it. And that Electric Claw is taken down. And yep, there we go. He'll try to go for some Kayad tricking, and he will be able to, but the Thatcher grenade put right there, it's going to be taken down, and it won't even be a factor. I don't believe he got it in time. Will it blow up? Yes, it will. And now Moto is open for the attack. So you use both your Electric Claws to basically minimal extent, but he does still have a C4 in his pocket, and while that's certainly not his primary gadget, it's a powerful secondary one of the most powerful, and it's the only one on the defense. So if that Kayad gets taken out, Valkyrie, they're in another great position to put this 4-2.
They really are, man. That is going to be an interesting play to see how that'll go. Nobody chilling right there, but they're going to be able to flash it out anyway, make sure there's absolutely no one there. About 1:20 to go. Is plenty of time for Valkyrie. They've been able to execute with like 5 seconds left. I swear, these guys are crazy fast when it comes to their execute. So we'll see if they're going to be able to take down a couple more guys. Right now, it's still 5-5 with 1 minute to go. That's going to change immediately as Mr. B takes down Crank. Bye-bye to their Jaeger. That's you know, one of those guys you expect to either get the first kill or be killed. The roamers and entry fraggers often clash head-to-head, but another X-24 takes down Habini. Down goes the smoke. A great operator to have at the end of the day, but he won't be joining us here. Mr. B with another on to Phyllis, and all of a sudden it's a 2v5 situation, not looking great at all, as another comes from Rated, and just like that, it's Mr. B to get the final kill and the flawless round confirmed. Valkyrie heading in 4-2 on their attacking half, switching over to the defensive for our second half.
It's rounds like that show you why Valkyrie is, while not #1 in name, #1 contender in ESA Champions. I mean, everything was played so perfectly. The timing with the Thatchers and the X-Kairos in Moto, pushing out the attackers from Blue, from Kitchen, and getting angles at the bottom main stairs and through the soft walls in Kitchen. That's just, they covered all their bases, did all the necessary steps for a Clubhouse basement attack. And despite the fact that they won last time, they lost last time, they didn't let that get them down. They knew the game they had to play, and they played it to perfection. And that's why that was pretty much a flawless round in man count and in technique.
It really was, man. It was just seemed to be almost perfect. But now switching the sides on over, we do have the Kayad brought once again. Okay, no bandit, but we do have a smoke, a nice little maestro, a Valkyrie, and a Jaeger coming out. So Kayad gonna do most of the work, but very hard to do Kayad juggling. It's a Kayad tricking equivalent of bandit tricking, but it's very difficult to do it with the electric claw. So most likely that wall will go down to the Thatcher and the Hibana, but I remember there is no Thermite and there's no Maverick, and people in chat were very impressed at the ability to win out without those operators. So let's see if Powerhaus can step up too, because this is a great move by Valkyrie. You're starting off in the attack. I mean, if you excel without having those operators, you can really handicap a team and almost put them down to a bit of a tougher position, making them play strats that they aren't really used to. I mean, everyone has a thermite on this map. Everyone does. He's an essential operator, and without him, it makes it so weird almost. So I'm really excited to see how Powerhaus is going to be able to adapt to this. Because at the end of the day, this is just forcing evolution. That's all it's doing.
It is certainly forcing Powerhaus to play different, and I'm a bit surprised that they end their attacking half at a 4-2 with the odds stacked against them. Glyph will stack one more kill on top of him. He's got 5 so far, not the most showy player, but he's continuing to get those impact frags for Powerhaus. He'll take out Mr. B, the Jaeger, and already off the board with no Wamai. That's one of your main entry fraggers. But unlike Wamai, Jaeger can put his ADSs down, all 3 of them at the beginning, and they won't have to worry about any more magnets developing in the round, and that'll be very happy to Glyph, who took out the Jaeger, since his Capital bolts have free reign to take garage control and pretty much anywhere he wants to set up and help the attackers with their execute. Blastful, ooh, gonna make a very risky play to try and drop down Oil Pit. He'll just come away with his life, almost stunningly so. He'll take 25 HP in exchange, and that is free garage control for the attackers now that the Maestro has ran away to try and get back to site. X24 still playing down below to try and deny the entry into garage. Will be the last line of defense in that area, and it's looking like Powerhaus, they're looking, at the very least so far, to have a pretty solid attack going in.
They really are. They're doing a great job opening up on a Mr. B and then putting Glassful down very low is a great start. Already going to be able to take down these pesky little ADSs, as well as I think they'll continue to be able to move forward. Glassful has rotated back upstairs to the second floor. He's looking for something big here. Might go for something crazy. Will he find it? No, not going to find it yet, but he's still looking for something crazy. Can take down one of those evil eyes. Glyph doing a good job so far. And with that nice little door into sight, they have a potential to really dominate. In fact, look, everyone has kind of rotated out of CCTV. They're taking cover now inside of another shot from Habini. Takes down X24. Great job as another from Habini takes down Blastful as a 5v2. This is where these guys absolutely excel. This is where Powerhaus can win it out, but Esteem and Rated looking to come back. C4 gonna miss. Almost had the kill onto him, but with just under 30 seconds to go, the execute has to come out quite quickly. Glyph with another, as this looks so good for Powerhaus. There's almost no way for Steam to clutch this one up, but I mean, saying that, it is Valkyrie, and you never know, but the amount of angles are just going to be too much, and Big Guy wins a flawless round right back in their faces. This is what we love to see. Some great siege happening right now.
Big Guy gets a big round for Powerhaus, winning that very first round on their attacking half, and it looked like a Powerhaus round through and through. Blastful taking a lot of engagements that, as a Maestro, he might not necessarily should have taken. The rotate down Oil Pit, while ended up working out in his favor, was extremely dangerous and probably not exactly the best position. But even a Maestro playing up there with such a powerful operator, it's also a bit scary to have him playing up there. It's inevitable that garage will get cleared out, and honestly, it's inevitable that the person playing up there will eventually die. But still, he rotated down, he made it out, but then he took that fight downstairs with the person outside main door. Now, maybe it was a situation where somebody has to take them out. But again, you're the Maestro. You need to live in order for those evil eyes to be useful and to deny those plants. And we saw their plant was a smoke execute. And maybe those evil eyes could have played a factor, but instead he swung main door and ended up getting taken out. But again, could have just been a situation where somebody had to take the fall, and it just happened to fall into Blastful. They're going the dock this time. I think a better operator if he wants to play that position. And Valkyrie, they don't need to start worrying so much yet. They still have a round up. And hey, it's only one round. We'll try it again. And if it doesn't work, we'll see where you go from there.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Absolutely. But, I mean, Powerhaus taking a step in the correct direction, and with another retry here on CCTV, we'll see how this does end up going for Valkyrie. I mean, still, I am skeptical at them ending up losing because they've looked so strong during the season. But, I mean, Powerhaus looks to be a little bit of an underdog, a little bit of a black horse, perhaps, and they can really come out and perform. It's going to look great for them. To be able to say that they took down the undefeated team of Valkyrie would be a huge morale booster and definitely a little bit of a warning sign to everyone else in the league. So that's what Powerhaus is really looking for right now. But the guys on Valkyrie, a lot of kills, a lot of skills, and they're looking for more.
Blastful and X24 getting so aggressive on this garage door and blue window. Thankfully, nobody has spawned over there, and they know because the default hasn't been shot out yet, which could be a bit scary if you're Powerhouse. If you don't end up shooting out that default, that could be the death of you. We have seen default cams not getting shot out be the deaths of Pro League teams on Clubhouse. I don't remember the exact match, but it might have been the OXG TSM match where nobody shot the default cam outside main door and then ended up getting a couple kills on a run out from a TSM player. Now, of course, that's all speculation. Blastful and X24 will pretty much solely be bodies denying map control for the attack if they're not getting pushed out. And Big Guy, he'll be the first one to make an entry over there. X24 taken out. That's your C4 from below and your only one on Valkyrie. And a great pick coming out from the Zofia and another great foothold for Powerhouse to form in this round. It's mainly construction push so far. Thatcher and Hibanas will come out to destroy that construction wall, but Mr. B, he's going for a flank up those main stairs. With so many bodies, I'm sure that there's going to be somebody holding the rotate, and there you go. He'll knife the drone, run back down to basement, regroup, and try and come up with a plan for this final minute.
Final minute, and you know what? The kills have come out. X24 fell, but really the man count pretty even at this point. Is pretty close still, and not a lot of control has been gained as far as sight. We are seeing them move into cash room, though. They are getting very, very close. In fact, look at me, I lied. They're already in sight. Looks like a plant goes down here as Mr. B does pick down Big Guy, shot him down as it's a 4v4 situation. Post-plant, though, and now it's going to be up to Valkyrie to perform a retake. These are always fun with the majority of the team up, so I'm excited to see how this one will end up going. A lot of guys on Valk hurt, but that'll be a beautiful shot from Blastful to take down Crank. Now a 4v3, but time going to start running down lower and lower. They have a lot of control of cash. In fact, they got 3 people on the cash ready to go. A little bit of jump out goes down. Habini and Phyllis both pick up 1 as Steam and Rated will drop. And now it is at 1v3. Powerhouse win it again as, oh my goodness. Blastful and Mr. B just can't hack it. And that's going to be a tie game at 4-4.
I mean, Jesus, what have been these rounds from Powerhouse? They have just, these 2 attacking rounds, they have been out of this world. It's been lights out for the attacking team, and they have looked so strong going after and beyond these first 2 rounds. Even with such a high man count for the defense and utility on the Bandit with the C4 and so much in the hands, once it's a post plant, the attackers, it's like 80 to 90% win rate for them, even with that high of man count. And since the man count was even, the attackers, they had so many angles they could hold. You saw the Hibana playing outside on CCTV Valk. You saw 1 playing inside of construction over by Logi to deny the run out from that door to construction. It was basically just almost over and done with Valkyrie. They put up a good fight, but in the end, it wasn't enough. And again, it was a dominant Powerhouse round coming out, and one that so far, despite the fact they were down 2 rounds going into their attacking half, it's a trend that looks like they're going to continue.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at the very least, they've tied up the scoreline, but they still have a lot of work to do. Valkyrie starting off on a 4-2 means that these guys have to match the 4-2. So they're about halfway to at least confirming the overtime, while Valkyrie need to win 3 more and they straight up win. So it'll be really interesting to see, because at this point, Powerhouse cannot accept anything less than a 4-2, while Valkyrie, I mean, anything better than that is going to be a win for them. They go 3-3, they win. They go 4-2, they win. If they do anything, they win, as long as it's not that 2-4 or, God forbid, a 5-1, which would indeed give Powerhouse the win instead. A lot of different options here, and Powerhouse looking absolutely on fire right now. Winning 2 rounds in a row against Valkyrie, especially being on the attack, is huge for them. And I'm sure they're feeling much, much better about their odds, really trying to fight this one out. Once again, the morale boost that they got to be feeling, the momentum, is going to be quite palpable, as we do see them already taking good control of Garage, looking to shut down anybody trying to do a little bit of a flanky-danky, and really starting off quite well for this round.
Indeed, they are. Not entirely sure about the roam setup coming out from Valkyrie, but X24, he's opted to bring the Bandit. Something you virtually never see on a basement defense. As you can see, he's put 3 of his jammers on that church wall. So that is the main reason for his hard breach tonight. But I'm curious why they opted to bring the Bandit. And yeah, actually, he's only used 2 of them. So maybe one of those walls is unelectrified, but either way, I'm not sure why they decided to bring a Bandit instead of a Mute. Mute, he's got that shotgun, SMG-11, and a C4 as well. And sure, Bandit, he has some solid hard breach denial, and he has an MP7, which is an insanely powerful gun. I don't know, I'm not confident in that pick from X24, but he's looked to frag out so far, and if they're using it as a vessel for his fragging, then maybe that's a solid pick, and maybe that is one Valkyrie, and I do support if that is the case. Either way, with a minute 30 remaining, Blastful still has not been pushed out of blue. It'll be normally we would see Big Guy and Glyph be the ones taking that responsibility to push him out. Instead, they'll all the way be over by Kitchen and Big Guy moving down main stairs. C4 will fly out from Mr. B, won't find anybody, but that hatch is still hard. And if nobody's impact tricking, it will be open. And going into the final minute, that is the linchpin for Powerhouse's attack in an aspect that is critical and one they'll get.
Absolutely. That's going to be big for them. Still in a 5v5 situation, so no one's gone down. It looks like they are going to try to open up the moto hatch as well. Make sure a lot of pressure's on these guys. Hatches are kind of sketchy because you can just kind of get clay pigeoned out of the air as you're falling in, but they can also be a great move if you distract him another way. So that's what I'm looking for out of Powerhouse, and already they are down in the main stairs looking to come in, but time is beginning to run low. Esteem's still holding out a nice angle inside of dirt as we will begin to see Glyph take a little bit of damage. By a little bit, I do mean a lot of it. Under 25 HP is definitely a considerable amount, and with 20 seconds, the execute is going to come out in a hurry.
Oh.
Just misses the shot, but he'll take it anyway. X24 goes down to Big Guy. Another frag, but it's going to be Blastful taking out Crank. Two more from Mr. B. Habini finally taking him down. It is now a 2v3 situation with no time, and Rated finds Big Guy. Habini at minimal HP, shut down by Rated, as that will be Valkyrie's first defensive win on Church Arsenal.
That's the first chink that's appeared in the armor of Powerhouse going into these attacks. After two dominant performances on CC, it'll be a bit more, not necessarily of a dominant one, I suppose. The word isn't coming to my mind. More of a weak attack coming out. It looked strong going in, but in the end, I just don't think they were efficient enough with their utility trying to clear out those defenders. First one that comes to mind is the Jaeger in blue. Sure, he didn't frag out immensely going later on in the round, but that's one aspect that normally you expect an attack to clear out. But the Zofia and the Capital, the main two operators that normally you see clearing out in blue, they were completely on the opposite side of the map, pushing with the rest of their team. To be fair, it's not like they were doing something completely useless or a non sequitur from the attack, but it just goes to show that maybe Powerhouse, they weren't as efficient and weren't clearing as effectively as they could have or as they had in those rounds previously. Valkyrie, having won basement and having lost CC twice, will opt to go to the tertiary bomb site, Gym Bedroom. And this is going to be one of those rounds that's extremely critical. If Valkyrie win, they go to match point, but if Powerhouse wins, they show that they're capable of winning on 2/3 of those sites. And if you're capable of winning on 2/3 of them and winning one of them twice as well, then you're looking good to seal this map out, or at the very least push us to OT.
Yeah, I mean, going back to CCTV could be big misplay if Powerhouse continued to dominate it on it. But I mean, it's kind of one of those things that you're gonna eventually most likely have to face. So Valkyrie looking to go up here really quickly, as I'm interested to see if they can hold this one out. So far, CCTV has been powerfully in Powerhouse's homes and hands. And at this point, if Valkyrie can't hold on to it, we'll be tied up again 5-5. If they do hold on to it, then we go into a match point and head to most likely Gym Bedroom, where we'll see a big battle for dominance. Valkyrie still in that driver's seat, but the power has been severely shifted and is still shifting. It's a very fluid game we've seen so far, back and forth, ups and downs. And at this point, hard to really predict what's going to happen because we've seen a great defense by these guys on Valkyrie just in the round previous, but we've seen some great attacks from Powerhouse on this exact site. So honestly, it could go either way, and I'm really excited to see how it will go. Something that we have noticed is time management seems to be a little tough for Powerhouse. They get down on time, and when that pressure starts mounting, you make mistakes. You have to rush. You know, you have no choice but get in there with the plan. And that is when Powerhouse really, or excuse me, Valkyrie really exceeds and does a great job, they excel rather, in punishing teams who are rushing in.
Absolutely. Powerhouse are still taking their time with this attack. They'll use their Hibanas, the only hard breacher on the map, as I'm sure everyone is aware, to open up Jacuzzi Wall. And speaking of time management and dedicating your resources to specific places, Powerhaus have not dedicated a single operator to pushing out the operators playing over in Garage and CCTV. We saw Blastful was part of their ranks, but he has since left. And last time we saw him, he was dropping down through Oil Pit and possibly going for a flank up main stairs. But he will get the first kill on the Glyph. And no, he's back in Garage. He must have ran out the bottom, and yes, he did. And that's a kill onto the Capital. An insanely impactful frag. Both those smoke and fire bolts will be taken off the board, and Powerhouse's execute is going to suffer because of it. Big Guy will open up the castle barricades, but the wall's already been opened. Not much use in denying anybody tricking, well, since there's nobody there. Ooh, and that castle barricade, it's actually still solid. I thought he broke it. I guess he must have shot something else. That's on me. I missed exactly what he was shooting at, but either way, Jacuzzi Wall is still being open. The attackers have an entry point, and as you can see, one's playing in Balaji and Blastful playing on main stairs means they still have operators that will repel their attack at a moment's notice. Oh, and that's actually two inside of Balaji, both Esteemed and the Goyo, the latter of which holds a C4 in his pocket, stand ready for the attack of Powerhouse to push in these final 30 seconds. And you said earlier, it comes down to the wire, and you kind of just have to go to fragging. That's exactly what Powerhouse are going to do, and it's already not working out. Blastful picks up one. Esteem gets the refrag. Well, he adds on top of it. Phyllis gets the refrag, and he gets the Jaeger going prone on the floor. A great shot from him. Habini taking him out, but it's still a 2v3, and you've got to get the plant down. Phyllis will try. There's a shotgun from below, but he's not hitting the right spots. He's missing every single shot. He just sees him at the last second, and it won't matter. Phyllis, he gets the plant down. He gets killed, and now it's just Habini. Finds themselves in a 1v4. He got 11 kills so far. He's going to need to add 2 more to that in order to clutch this round for his team, or he's got to wait it out. He sees one running up the main stairs. It's now Esteem who's picked up Goyo. They're ones going inside a gym. He gets the headshot through the wall. He's got one more. He's got 25 HP. Both are oh so low. To go for the wide swing, and the C4 won't hit him. You'll see the shots, and Habini will land them. Powerhouse, they even it 5-5 and deny Valkyrie match point.
Dude, Habini is the main man. SMG-11, so powerful as, yeah, that was huge. Valkyrie just couldn't get the retake. One after another, they came in and they were shut down, and they've got to be a little bit frustrated. This is a team who have faced very, 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 I don't want to say weak teams, but teams that have almost laid over for them. I mean, 2-0 for every single time. And the scoreline's just not looking the way this is. I mean, 7-3, 7-4 when they faced on to Nomads. And then when we saw them go up against HNC, it was an absolute slaughter fest where it did not go well at all for HNC. And then, like you said, on Visionary, once again, not the way that you would have expected it. Valkyrie, a very good team. So to see Powerhouse take them to a 5-5, potentially taking match point here if they can win Gym once again, this is a big situation for Valkyrie to really shut them down, and Powerhouse have definitely shown that they have what it takes. The big question is, can they finish it up?
That is the big question going into this. Powerhouse, they are second to last, but they are certainly not playing how you would expect a second to last team to play. They are showing that they can contend with the top players in this league, and I have a feeling it's going to be a great series for the rest of these maps, even if Powerhouse end up dropping it. One thing Valkyrie are going to need to fix, though, is their play down below. One of the main reasons they ended up losing that round was because the mute on X24 shotgun basically entirely in a circle around the planter, but never actually touched Phyllis with the shotgun, and Phyllis ended up getting the plant down, and that gave Habini the time to win that round out and clutch that 1v3. Valkyrie, they need to shore up these defenses and shore up those lacks of coordination and those mistakes if they want to stop Powerhouse from continuing to gain this momentum. But even if they do, Valkyrie, they just clutched an amazing 1v3, and that provides so much in terms of momentum, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this round become borderline a stomp as a result, just based on the momentum gain alone. Blastful won't be playing in Garage this time. He's playing inside of Construction, and he'll rotate in the Cache. I was a bit curious for a second. Nobody playing inside of Cache would be a stark contrast from the previous Gym bedroom holds we've seen today. And also importantly, they haven't reinforced that red wall, meaning he's so much easier to push out. While he resides over there toiling with his own devices, Phyllis will once again open up that Jacuzzi wall with her Hibana charges. Esteem playing back on the Bandit will potentially try to Bandit trick bathroom wall. A very easy job if you're the Bandit trying to get the Hibana charges off. But again, how impactful is it? It's only going to be 1x Kairos, and it's going to be 1 frag grenade to take out rated the Goyo. 1 C4 taken off the board, failed last time, and it won't even be a factor this time.
Absolutely. And man, chat is just getting to the part where Habini clutched it up. And look at this right now, the chat going insane. And it's correct. Habini definitely deserves the love he's getting right now. The man has clutched up twice. I believe he was the man who clutched up on defense too, right? That was Habini.
I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this guy is definitely someone to watch out for. And already Powerhaus ready to move in. They're looking to take sight. Always tough though, because you got those little holes at the bottom of the wall that are going to allow for big shots to come in from the bedroom. So you do have to be a little bit cautious. Steam going to powerhouse through Glyph, excuse me. Takes him down. Bye-bye Capital. It's an unfortunate loss. Does get a little bit of fire down. Not sure. That will be Capital. There's no Goyo on the board. So he did get a nice little boat, but advantage goes to Valkyrie almost immediately. Still, time is going well. Powerhaus has something here, but another shot. Big guy takes down Mr. B, and now the advantage swings back to Powerhaus. Blastville looking for somebody. Big guy understands that someone's hunting as Phyllis goes for the plant. C4 comes up, cranked down, but Powerhaus immediately refrags onto X24. Diffuser is down once again, and this is where it gets tough. Phyllis onto his team. It's all up on Blastville. A great player, but in a 1v3 post-plant situation, will he show his greatness to that ability? Well, he finds one. Has to find two more. At this point, it's going to get very, very tough. If he clutches this up, he'll go down as one of the best Valkyries in history. And he already has some pretty good control. Going to be able to find another as Big Guy does go down. Looking to do the plant right now. He's defusing. I don't think he has enough time to get there. Oh my goodness, it's going to come down to this, but he pulls off. He should have stuck it. And Habini will punish him for not doing that. Got too nervous. It would have been close. I don't know if he would have survived if he stuck it, but it was close, man. And a good job from Habini. Match point to Powerhaus.
That barbed. Because of that barbed and the sledge didn't break it and it hadn't been broken, he had the time. I guarantee if he had stuck it, it would have been close. It would have been real close. The sledge would have had to peak and hit his shots perfectly. And well, Habini, to be fair, has shown to do that throughout this matchup. But that was a winnable round from Blastville if he had just taken the chance to stick it. But he didn't. And now Powerhaus, they're on match point. They were at a 2-4 deficit going into their second half, and they have run it back and made the comeback. And now they're one round from taking, I believe this is it Powerhouse's map pick? I believe it is Powerhouse's map pick.
They wanted to go here.
Okay, so they did want to go here, and winning at 7-5, that is a bit close, but hey, it's worth, I initially thought Valkyrie was going to win Powerhouse's map pick, so they're at least proving us wrong and showing that they're in, and they are putting up a fighting chance to close this out. Potentially the final site will be Basement, a site that Valkyrie, it's the only one they've won so far. They've lost CC twice, and they've lost Bedroom twice, but now this is the one that they'll win, and the one that they could potentially push us to OT on.
This is crazy, man. I don't think I've seen Valkyrie down like this ever before. And what does it feel like for these guys? Once again, this is a very, very confident team. They feel so, I guess, proud and capable of their abilities that they think they can do pretty much anything. They're ready to just go through and get stuff in. But at this point, Powerhaus has pushed them to match point. And if they end up ending the game here, ending the map here, we could be seeing potentially a map 3 if it goes back and forth like this. But we'll have to see, as that is way in the future. Powerhaus looking to finish him up. These guys getting a little bit aggressive. You saw a bit of a run outcome. They are definitely itching for the win. If a team can make a comeback, take it to overtime and win, I would say it's Valkyrie. But if Powerhaus can shut them down right here, they won't even have that chance.
They will not in Powerhaus. They have to continue their trend. 4 strong attacks so far, and 2 strong attacks and 2 strong post plants. So we'll have to see if they're able to continue that trend. Only 40 seconds in right now. Still plenty of time to stretch, for the attack to stretch their legs and try and make something of this. The players to watch will be Esteemed down below, who likely has impacts and will be the one trying to impact trick that Kitchen Hatch. But no, he's actually brought barbed wire. There's no impact on the board for Valkyrie, so Kitchen Hatch, unless they decide to use some C4s, which Mr. B making some lines in the form means they could potentially go for some, it's going to be a lot easier for Phyllis to use those X-Kairos and open up Moto Hatch and Kitchen Hatch. Furthermore, Blastville playing inside of blue, he's going to be another key player because so far, Glyph and Big Guy haven't shown to try and push that Jaeger out of that position. He's been allowed to sit inside of blue left to his own devices. And with the Capital and the Zofia, they're going to have to try and adjust. But instead, big guy, he's on main stairs where he's always been. I'm curious to see where that Capital is at the moment. Not entirely sure, but Mr. B on his Valcams, he'll be the main one to deny anybody pushing inside of Kitchen. And so far, it's all but quiet before the chaos.
So there's Capital still chilling outside of stock right now, but looking to get stuff opened up. That'll be the X-Kairos onto the hatch that is now open. And this could very well go to the side of Powerhaus. But look at Mr. B taking a very aggressive stance, hoping to find someone tripping and flipping and slipping. We'll see if it'll work out. With just a minute to go, Powerhaus is going to have a very, very good execute. With all 10 people being at full HP, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath within the dying seconds of this round. And with 45 left, it's getting a little tense.
It is. It is extremely tense right now. It's palpable. Habini, the star player, taken down upstairs, is able to get revived, so won't have to worry about this absolute madman on the L85. He will have to worry a bit, though. He's on 25 HP. That's not exactly the best spot you want to be for somebody with 17 kills. What an absurd performance by this man so far. And could continue to be absurd in the final 20 seconds. Drop down Moto. The execute coming out from church side. Some shots raining out into blue, and he will pick up one on the bandit. Crank picks up one more onto Blastful the Jaeger. 2 refrags come out. Mr. B and Ray to take out Crank and Habini, but Phyllis, he's getting the plant down, but there's an Evil Eye. They haven't shot it, and they're not able to shoot it anymore. He's down. They have to get the plant. Esteem takes down Phyllis. They either have to plant or go for frags. Big guy will try to stick it. The Maestro, he'll wide swing, but Mr. B kills the planter. That's the one you need to in a position like that. And Valkyrie send us to OT on what could have been a Powerhaus round, but a great performance by Valkyrie swing it back in their favor.
Good grief, man. That was one of the scariest rounds I've ever seen. There was so much pressure there as you saw the 2 initial kills go to Powerhaus, but immediately refragged by Valkyrie, and it just kind of went back and forth, but the clutch had to be that lovely Evil Eye doing some big work. We're headed to overtime, and it looks like Powerhaus will start on defense, and that is a pretty big advantage. This means, well, I mean, then again, I feel like defense hasn't been all too strong. It was a 4-2 in favor of Valkyrie. So, I mean, really, maybe you want to be on the attacking side. Usually, I would say being on the attack is a bit of an advantage, or being on the defense is a bit of an advantage, but we'll have to see.
That's the conundrum right now. They're on the side that is statistically favored, but I'm sure as everyone at home and we have observed, attack has certainly been this side that has seen the most success so far. It's been a 4-2 on both halves of both teams' attack, and Valkyrie starting there. That could be what they need. Now let's take a deep dive real quick back into history. Valkyrie, they started on attack, if I am not mistaken, and when they attacked CC, they won it both times. The only sites that Powerhaus ended up winning was basement and gym. And as you can see, we're not on basement and gym. We're in CC. Powerhaus, they're going off of precedent and going off of statistics and the sides that have been favored so far. They're certainly at a disadvantage. But if anybody can run it back, can defeat the odds, it is certainly going to be Powerhaus. They just have to shore up their defenses and transfer that energy they had on their attacks to their defensive half in overtime.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry for that big screen there. I'm back home with the family. My sister
couldn't decide if I should talk about it or not. I was like, do I mention somebody screaming in the background, or do I just continue onward?
It's a big question, man, and a very hard decision as it's overtime. It's a big time play as we do see Esteem back on the offense. He's ready to do some work. These guys are absolutely fragging out. You see a lot of guys with 9 kills right now on the side of Valkyrie, while it's been the show of Habini for Powerhaus. Some of the guys doing good work as well, but no one as good as Habini, just absolutely fragging out. But some good work will now deny any potential tricking. You just can't do it in a position like that, although that's going to feel a little bit nice and impact, or excuse me, rather ooh, he does get a nice little trick down, it looks like, as now things are getting crazy. That's the Kaid from afar doing some work, as you'll love to see that. 2 breach denials can make it very difficult when there's only 1 hard breacher on the entire map.
And that 1 hard breacher on the entire map is one that Kaid is basically entirely made to trick. You really can't trick Thermite unless you get the exact sweet spot in timing. But Hibana, it's so much easier for him to Kai trick. And as a result, Plat Wall, it continues to remain soft. And Valkyrie, they'll have to do what they did many rounds previously and push from this construction side. But if it worked twice, it looks like it might work again. Villa's playing close on this construction wall. Will have to meet Blastful, the IQ, watching to see if an aggressive play by the Bandit is made. He'll be pushed out just a little bit by the fire, and he'll get caught on a rotate by that very same IQ. The defender's now at a disadvantage, but with 1 minute left, the execute is looking like it'll come before the time runs out. Habini, that star player, taken down by Mr. B, and this is exactly what Valkyrie on this attack need. They're looking to try and push us to OT match point, but they still have to try and get that plant down, and they still have to make an entrance onto site. As Steam and Rated will jump into Master Bedroom, try and back up the Zofia, the IQ currently playing inside of construction. Destructive lifelines will come out, destroy the shield, and it's just waiting. You can feel the tension. The music is swelling right now. We're just waiting for the attack to make that move, to push through those doorways. Smoke bullets will fly out, obscure the Jaeger's vision, and he somehow picks up 2 kills. He doesn't need it. This man's like Book of Eli. He can see beyond sight. And now with the garage not being cleared out, it won't even matter. X24 picks up 1. Big guy lands the refrag, but so does Mr. B, taking him down. And it's just Prank left into 1v2. He gets 1 more. It's a triple. And now it's Mr. B to try and find it with 10 seconds left. He's on low HP. He has the diffuser. He gets spotted, and he lands the shots! Mr. B with the pistol pushes Valkyrie to match point. And oh, you have to be shaking your head if you're the Jaeger. You should have won that in the trade. Zofia with the withstand, it goes her way every single time.
Oh my goodness, man. For a second there, I thought Powerhaus had won it, but you're right. The withstand is going to keep him alive. And just like that, it could have been a 7-6 in the other person's favor, that being Powerhouse's. But instead, Valkyrie has taken that OTMP, that precious scoreline is theirs. And now they're heading to the basement to finish things off if they can. Church Arsenal, a very good side, but will it be what they need? Well, that's a fantastic question. Let's find out, because if we look at the history, Church has been won
history lesson
by Valkyrie.
Everyone put on your glasses, get your books
Absolutely.
ready. Taking a deep dive.
I mean, historically, if we look back at the rounds of 9 and 12, Church was won quite handily by Valkyrie. So this is a site they feel pretty comfortable on. Let's see if they can. They have been close rounds, though. We have to admit they have been very. But they could end it right here. They could win on Powerhouse's map after an extraordinary fight, or Powerhouse could push us to double OTMP. And by that point, I will just be amazed and excited, as this has been one of the best games we've seen for a while.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I think even if Powerhouse lose this map, they have to be proud of their performance on this very first map. I mean, certainly this has gone beyond, I think, anybody has anticipated. And Powerhouse, they're just putting up numbers that are absolutely insane. And I just have to make note of it again. Habini, 18 kills. Putting in the work, just unparalleled in any of the series that I've casted so far in ESA, and especially tonight. Omega, he came close, but it's Habini. It's been the Habini show tonight, and that is what will be the talk of the town, I'm sure, once this match is done and dusted. But again, going back into the round and the setups we see so far, as you mentioned, Valkyrie certainly do have the advantage. This is the one defensive site that they got their 2 rounds on. And Powerhouse, they'll have to learn from their mistakes. They'll have to try and clear Blastful out of blue. They'll have to try and clear those defenders out from Church, which of course they will. It's an execute. But it comes down to coordination, getting your utility in the places it goes, and just at the end of the day, it's going to come down to winning your gunfights. That's how close it's going to be. And when it's coming down to gunfights, you're playing with 2 talented and heavily coordinated teams that know the kind of game Siege is and how it needs to be played.
Absolutely, man. I don't think I could agree anymore. These 2 teams have put on such a good show. It has been absolutely insane. The back and forth, the clutches from both sides, the crazy kills, the crazy survives that we saw just last round from the Valkyrie, from Valkyrie in form of the lovely Zofia. But already we're seeing a little bit of soft destruction come out. You got to be careful, though, as you never know who's going to be lurking down below. It looks like X24 might have the only C4 on the wall, but oh no, he can't get the impact trick.
Oh no!
That is so unfortunate. He tried twice, but he didn't get it. This is a big oversight and a big misplay. Weren't able to hit the correct buttons, or rather hit the correct angle pick the correct sight line for the poor impact nade, and that hatch was opened with no penalty to Powerhaus.
Going into this final minute, Powerhaus, they've opened that kitchen hatch. That is one thing they need, but they've opened up kitchen hatch before, and they still lost those rounds. It's going to take more than that. Albeit that might be the kind of play that Valkyrie will look back and say, man, if we had just won that, we could have ended up winning it out. But just look, all 5 defenders, all on site, all virtually still in the same positions they were at once they started this round. And with 45 seconds left, Powerhaus, they're going to have to make a decision on where they're going to push this bomb site from. Habini looking to go through that Hibana prone hold. Drones will fly into dirt and clear the way for the top fragger. And if anybody can make the solo dirt push work, it certainly is Habini. Esteem isn't even looking that direction. A frag grenade will get cooked all the way down the end, but it gets caught by an ADS. Still, Esteem completely focused, looking down towards blue to try and stop a push from coming out. And there goes Habini. He comes up from behind. He's playing Splinter Cell. He's not even playing Siege. He just stealth assassinates Esteem, but it's answered back by 2 more. And a 416 and M870, but Habini, he picks up another one. The Sledge, he is not letting his team lose. X24 we put down to low HP as well. And Habini, he picks up another one. And Glyph with the final 2 kills. Look at that. The solo push through dirt and the Capitao to round it off. Powerhaus are still in this match, and we take all 15 rounds to decide who wins map 1.
This has been a battle of epic proportions, something to truly write in the history books that are coming. Our children's children will read of the day that Powerhaus faced the monster of Valkyrie and lived to go to overtime, double overtime match point. But this is where it ends, Lynx. There is nothing past this. Somebody is walking out with a victory under their belt. The other will walk with their heads held low. So far, Valkyrie has not lost a single map from what it seems. They have 2-0'd everybody. This is a chance for Powerhaus to not only potentially change that, but potentially take the whole win. Let's see if this is going to happen. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Slay, this is map 1. We're not even done yet. We could potentially have 2 more maps. And I mean, the only thing I'm worried about, how is the next map going to compare to this one? I mean, this has just been off the wall insane. And Habini, he got a triple that round. Habini's at 21 kills. What's the record for kills in ESA? I legitimately don't know off the top of my head, but Habini's got to be getting close to it. In one map, max OT, he is getting so... just that solo push through dirt. You've got to love it. But going into this final round, Slay, it's history book time again. Let's look back. Let's look back at how these have shaped up. Powerhaus, they lost basement once, and they won it once. Actually, they lost it twice and won it once. So they're certainly going to a disadvantaged site, but to be fair, most of them are. They were down 4-2 on their defensive half, so they only ended up winning 2 different sites once each time. And we'll just have to see if they're able to shore up their play. Valkyrie, they're opting to go for a Montaigne strategy, something that we haven't seen so far, and something that we have seen on Clubhouse previously in that visionary matchup, the series just before this one. Likely see him push down through blue would be my guess. But important to note, with the Montaigne, means that a certain operator's off the board. An IQ who could spot that pulse. Now, it's no fault to them. It's kind of risky to bring an IQ sometimes, but I could say the same about the Monty, I suppose. That pulse is going to be a major player playing in pulse spot. Well, pulse always plays back there. That's why it's called pulse spot. And he's already used to C4. I'm not entirely sure where he's used his C4, but that is extremely unfortunate for Glyph. And that could just be the kind of mistake and fallibility coming up from Powerhaus that Valkyrie need to seal this out.
Oh, yeah, pre-placed.
Oh, yeah. Pre-placed?
Right.
Okay. Whew, I'm going to bless up real quick. I got scared.
Yeah, that would have been unfortunate. But already, Valkyrie is beginning their big attack with plenty of time. You do see the Hibana going to use 2 of those X-Kairos. You got to be so, thrifty with these X-Kairos, man. It's insane to have no hard breachers. This has been such a unique and exquisite match here on Clubhouse. Something that I've never seen before, to only have the Hibana as your hard breacher on a map where hard breachers are basically needed for every single site. It is so much fun. But Blastful, he's on the scary boy himself. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Monty. And he is a formidable opponent, not only is he a shielded man, his power does take X24 down. That's a great pick on the sledge,
That
but he also
pre-placed.
gives out live information.
It's that pre-placed.
Mm.
We got word about it earlier, and it ended up working out. What a great play and coordination coming out from Glyph. Now, him and Big Guy are on low HP, but with X24 being taken down, the odds are just about even. Blastful taking some damage from that Toxic Babe. He's only at 50 HP remaining, but it's the Montaigne. If they get that diffuser down, Valkyrie will all but surely win this round, and that's what Powerhaus have to try and deny. And Crank will deny the entry down main stairs for Rated, taking out that Hibana, but her work's already been done, and Valkyrie, they find themselves on the back foot once more in a 3v5. You can see one at Kitchen Hatch. He takes down one. Mr. B gets one more in exchange, and it's evened out. It's so incredibly close. It's going to come down to the wire, and the tension, it is just about to break. We are almost there. Toxic Babe, one more will fly out to Dirt Tunnel to deny the push in from Blastful. He'll make his entry into sight just below Kitchen Hatch. Mr. B takes out one. Phyllis gets the reflect. There goes the Monty, and now it's just a 1v2. Mr. B's got to do everything, and he'll do nothing. Phyllis with the down and Habini with the final kill. He'll seal 22 for himself, and Powerhaus in a match that took everything out of both teams will be won 8-7 on their map pick.
I have got chills right now. Powerhaus came in here as the underdogs, but they were absolutely able to do some great work. Habini deserved every ounce of that top fragger role with 22 kills going to him, 10 for Glyph looking real nice, but 4 guys from Valkyrie put up over 10 kills, and that really shows. Let me turn my light on real quick before we go back to faces, as it is dark here. But good grief, Lynx. That was
Jesus.
an insane first map.
Slay, that's map 1. That's, as you just said, that's map 1. What the hell is this series going to be like if that was the first map we played? Now, if I am Powerhaus, I would be a little bit nervous. That was your map pick, and it went to max OT all 15 rounds. That's not, you only have one map pick. Going in, they're going to be on Valkyrie's turf. And the question is whether they can take that same energy, that momentum from the impressive win on the back of the performance by Habini that we just saw, and translate that into another victory. Because if they don't, we're going to have to go to map 3. And at that point, all bets are off.
Absolutely. We are going to take a small bit of a break here just to give the teams times to do whatever they have to do. I'm sure after a crazy first map like that, they need to take a minute, go wash their faces of all the sweat that must be pouring from their heads. And we as well will be right back in just a couple of moments.
See you in a bit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ESA. It is an honor to be back with you as we are ready for Cafe Dostoevsky. Powerhaus took map 1 in a stunning 15-round battle. It was 7-8 in favor of Powerhaus. Valkyrie battled hard too, but in the end, Power came out on top, and Mr. B has left the game. Oh no.
Oh, boys. No good deed or no good event goes unpunished. And to fill you in on what's been happening, you might have been like, hey, the break's taking a bit longer than it normally is. Well, that's because how do I explain this? So we had one player on each team was unable to connect to the game. I believe it was Crank. And was it Mr. B as well? Crank and Mr. B. I literally can't make this up. If one would join the game, the other would get kicked out, and they could not join the game at the same time. Now we got it to work, but now Mr. B's out of the game again. So we're just gonna run through the bans. I don't know if it. I guess the IQ might be a real ban. Mr. B is back. Solid. That's what I'm talking about. But I can say with absolute certainty, I've never seen an IQ ban in my entire life. So that's cute. Thatcher and Mira will be the next ban. Thatcher and Mira, much more standard for Cafe in North America. Thatcher and Mira, basically, you can always count on them being banned and in any given match on any given day. And the final ban that Valkyrie will pull out is the Kaid, which is a bit curious. Not often you see a Kaid ban on Cafe. I would have figured it would have been an Echo or Wamai, but instead, the South African operator, he'll be taken off the board, so no more Electro Claws.
You know, this is an absolute travesty. To see IQ off the board means they have to take Amaru if they want the G8. Oh, no. I think she's a cool op, man. I wish there was a place for her to just go beating around.
She's super fun. I mean, like, no one will deny that, especially with the... Also, wait, I just realized, not South African. Moroccan is where Kayat is from. My bad. But yeah, Amaru, super fun. I would like to see team. I remember I was in a scrim one time, and I actually this was like a year or so ago. I saw a team with Amaru strats. Like, I'm not joking. It was on Cafe, and their entire Amaru strat was she would grappling hook onto the roof, open the hatches with the secondary shotgun, and then just use the G8 for the rest of the time. So, I mean, hey, I've seen it happen before. Maybe we'll see it happen again one day, but obviously it won't be happening now.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. If you're going to take in IQ just for the G8, why not, take Amaru and heat on up and just get stuff open quickly for your team, I don't know. I guess it is nice to have the gadget in the back pocket, and IQ will always be better in that state, but she's gone. No IQ, and like you said, a very peculiar ban. You don't see it often, but we'll see it now, and some good setup. Valkyrie is starting off on defense, and tonight has been a weird night for Clubhouse. I mean, both matches we saw were attacker-sided, it seemed. But here we go on to Cafe, and I'm really excited to see how the cards will fall here. Without the IQ, though, this does mean that these cams, these black guys coming out, can potentially go uncontested. You're going to have to, like, face check them to see if they're there, and that is never easy. These guys are very aggressive, so I'm expecting big plays from Valkyrie. Almost said Power Valkyrie or something. But this is going to be a very telling first round. I'm super excited. Bar Cocktail, a strong site, but let's see how it's going to go.
We certainly will. That IQ ban is very telling. Valkyrie were the ones to ban it out. And you can see they're running an Echo and a Valk in their very first round, meaning they don't want to deal with that, well, probably won that G8, but also they don't want to deal with them getting spotted. And the Echo... The Echo.
The physics, though. The physics on the hatches.
It never gets old. It's been going on for like 6 months to a year now, and I never don't smile when I see Sledge hit the hatch and the debris just flies 50 feet in the opposite direction of him.
It's so good.
It is really good. Speaking of really good, Blastful's hold inside a bathroom so far. Nobody's playing that pixel angle, oddly enough. That's, again, another stark contrast, something that I haven't seen for quite a while. There's still, I was about to say 2 ADSs, but it's all 3 ADSs will be stacked on that doorway. No Wamai being brought, but no Capital being brought by Powerhaus. Means they can just rely on those ADSs. And Habini tries to maybe recapture some magic from that previous round, and he'll get taken out immediately. X24 all the way down from below will get another nice angle onto Phyllis through that new Balk hatch. And it's just a 3v5 now. Powerhaus, only a minute 30 left in the round, not even down to the wire, and they're already on the back foot. Still have 2 hard breachers on the board. Again, it's going to be very difficult to make something out of this.
Imagine being able to take 2 hard breachers in. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's wild. That's insane.
So it looks like the Mavs are going to be trying to carve a nice hole and almost looks like a heart. Oh, that's
Oh, it does
sweet.
kind of look like. Oh, and it's ruined. Yeah,
He destroyed it. He's back through.
and he's dead.
C4.
And it's over.
This is so wacky, dude. As Mr. B takes out Crank, and now it's just Big Guy looking to deny a potential flawless round that Valkyrie has set up very nicely. Man, this is the Valkyrie we've seen time and time again.
Oh.
And there it is. The flawless round comes out as X24 takes the kill on Big Guy.
Well, that's certainly a good first step by Valkyrie to try and remedy the mistakes they made on the previous map. Opening up with a flawless round on your map pick certainly doesn't exactly spell good things for Powerhaus in the future. Now, it is only one round. Things could get better for them. But that just did not look good from Powerhaus, to say the least. They just got picked off early, and clearing out those roamers down below, they just didn't really have a good handle on the defenders off-site and on-site. I know it's a simple thing to say, but at the end of the day, the defenders were just running circles around them at every possible angle. For the purpose of a good match, I hope they get that back under control, because if that's the kind of rounds the Powerhaus are going to be putting up, it's going to be a tough map 2 for them.
Oh, absolutely, man. It is going to look real grim, real quick if they're unable to make something happen. But you know what? We've seen Powerhaus, and I feel like I underestimated them before, and I'm not going to make that mistake this time. Powerhaus showed us just what they can do when they won 8 out of 15 crazy rounds for the win. And, well, I mean, you can't underestimate Valkyrie either. These two teams are absolutely slugging it out. But you do have to be a little bit tentative. What if Valkyrie just goes off and absolutely destroys them? What if Powerhaus does the exact same? You never know, and that's what's so exciting about Siege. It's just, this is some great Siege that we're having, and I couldn't be more happy about it. Here we go, downstairs to the kitchen. Already, that was a quick sight on Bar Cocktail. Didn't really gain any control at all from Powerhaus, and Valkyrie shut him down so quick. So I'm really excited to see how this attack will go when they're all the way downstairs. Looks like we're still expecting a little bit of action on the 3rd floor here, as you saw them reinforcing the hatch. So could be an interesting move. Let's see what Valkyrie does when the attack comes in.
X24 is getting so aggressive, and he has a Sophia rappelling up right next to him. Oh, but he's not going to jump out. It looked like he might get aggressive and go for a jump out, but instead he'll leave Crank on rappel, completely untouched and unscathed many bullets. He'll rotate all the way back down to site and join most of his defenders. Instead, it'll be the Jaeger, the sole roamer now, on white stairs just below this window, which Habini is currently holding an angle on to try and catch the Jaeger rotating up. He will either read into it or he'll just play it safe, and he'll continue roaming around on that 2nd floor, not wanting to get too aggressive. But since there is no presence on that 3rd floor, it's free real estate for Powerhaus to make their play. And no, there you go, Mr. B. He's still playing aggressively on that window, despite Habini holding that angle. So you got to give props to him for not being phased by it. And since the Ashes rotated off, he played it just patient enough to not get caught off guard by the American operator, and he'll continue. Ooh, a run out as well, but he'll find absolutely nobody. And nobody detected on top of that, the door just flying open to make way for his retreat back into sight. And now all 5 defenders, they're just chilling in that kitchen with a minute 30 remaining.
Oh yeah, minute 30 means we should be starting to see these guys creep on down. Still on the 3rd floor trying to get this cleared out. We do have the Nomad doing some good work, making sure those lovely little flanks are going to be denied, as a team that would love to get some nice little flanks on them. However, they are taking their sweet time and haven't gotten much 1st floor control at all. They're finally heading down the white stairs, but they're still, okay, maybe they're not. They're heading up the white stairs.
So many double takes this matchup. It's like, and he's going up, he's actually backing up. Never mind.
It's so true, man. And now with under a minute to go, they really got to decide what they're going for. You see that hatch unreinforced, and I think that might be to try to bait them into dropping Freezer, as Freezer can be an absolute death trap. I mean, you get him in there, you kind of corral him. I don't know, maybe it's an oversight, but I've seen teams absolutely destroy attackers who try to go in through Freezer. It can be so bad. But here we go. With less than 30 seconds, Powerhaus needs to make a move just a beautiful shot onto Blastful. Can he find two? Looks for two, but Mr. B gonna try to look for him indeed. Another falls onto Steam as this is looking a little bit rough now for Valkyrie, trying to pick up some more kills. And now trying to save Esteem. They have dropped into Freezer, but it's going to go the opposite way. Phyllis takes down Mr. B. Now another from Phyllis. It's a 5v2 situation. Make that a 4v2 after a nice shot from X24 comes out, but he's down two. Ibini takes him all upon rated in a 1v4. And Powerhaus win it out. Didn't even have to get the plant down because they're just going to kill him.
Sometimes the game plan in Siege don't have to get the plant down. If you just kill all 5, you win the round anyway. And Powerhaus, it worked out perfectly for them. Only lost 1 body on that attack, but having still 4 men at the end, left standing when all is said and done, it's a good spot for the attack to be in. And again, a major difference between that previous round. They looked so much more in control. And one thing I'm worried about is Valkyrie leaving that hatch unreinforced. I mean, unless they were doing what you said and having a Giga Brain, you know, Maestro will just fry them all when they drop down the hatch and get cocky kind of play. I mean, if that's the plan, then, you know, I'll give it to Valkyrie. That's smart, but it didn't end up working out. Is that the kind of lack of communication they have? Like, oh crap, we didn't reinforce freezer hatch. I mean, that's one of the basic steps for a kitchen hatch. It's the one hatch on that bomb site. You always reinforce it unless you have an express purpose for it either being opened or it being unreinforced. If Valkyrie, that was a miscommunication, then they better make sure that that doesn't keep developing and occurring in their rounds.
So interestingly enough, we're not seeing reading. This is considered the weaker site because you have a of soft wall or soft flooring right above you. So interesting, maybe trying to throw these guys off, but perhaps I'm giving too much credit, as it could very well have been an oversight to not reinforce that hatch, and if it was, it definitely ended poorly for them. Even if they were trying to bait him in, it also ended very poorly for them, as you saw Phyllis just go off, get 2 kills immediately. So, I mean, either way, didn't work out. And now it's tied up 1-1. Powerhaus being very, very strong still, and this is fun. In mining now, and really you hardly ever see this site, so it's kind of interesting. I'm excited to see if this is maybe trying to play some mind games with or maybe they just want to mix it up.
Might be trying to catch him off guard, could certainly be the possibility. It's a bold strategy, we'll just have to see if it pays off. But with a mute, Mozzie, and a castle, they certainly have the operators necessary to make a hold like this work. It's going to waste so much info or so much utility for the attack and deny so much intel with that mute and the Mozzie. It's going to be a pain clearing out that top floor, which looks like Valkyrie, I should say, are planning to hold heavily. Rated up there inside of Christmas will be the main defender. Mr. B, close in cigar shop playing on top of that hatch, will be there to try and open any crossfires inside of Christmas. And there are 2 attackers on that west side rappel to try and make do with the little map control they have to try and take out these defenders inside. Still just holding on top. Not much happening. X24, he's joined them as well, sitting all the way back on that cocktail side. And the attackers, they've already had 1 minute and 10 seconds fly by, and they barely have anything to say for it. But as you said, there's so much soft destruction above this site, and in terms of map control, well, they don't need much to make it work. Mr. B on the fadeaway will take about 15 health and damage, but nothing too crazy, and nothing he has to be all of that worried about. With 1 minute 30 seconds remaining, Valkyrie, they are holding on to this top floor with an iron grip.
Absolutely. Blastful is going to be able to go down, though, to a nice shot from Beanie. The man of the hour, we were going to mention it. The man almost pulled out. I think he was just 2 or 3 kills away from pulling a 3.0 KD. Absolutely insane. He got 22 and 8 deaths, so he had 2 kills away from that beautiful, beautiful 3.0. The man's crazy, and he's someone that we need to watch. And we also need to watch the time. However, they are finally breaking in to Piano as they'll move quickly, but Mr. B still holding angles, wanting to catch him slipping as Habini continues to move as well. They've got a lot of stuff to do, but time is beginning to slip. However, both of these teams have executed very, very well with very, very little time, so I don't think that should be a problem. What could be a problem is seeing Glyph go down. That's a hand off the board, and you walked right into that one. Rated takes big guy, and now it is a 3v4 situation in favor of Valkyrie with time running under 30 seconds. Things are looking a little bit tough for the guys. Trying to find someone on the balcony. Might find him out. How do you win that? Good grief. Phyllis, I thought you had it for sure. X24 finds another, and all of a sudden it is down to a 1v3. and a 0v3 as the X24 finishes it up. The Jaeger finds the kill, and just like that, Valkyrie back in the lead, pulling up 2-1.
Such a great hold from Valkyrie on an incredibly unorthodox site. I don't think I've seen mining be played in... Let me think for a bit. I don't think I've ever seen it played, at least in a match I've casted. I'm sure I've seen it played at some point, but I don't remember it certainly. But that hold they had upstairs, it was perfect. It was so good. The Mute and the Mozzie all playing up there, all devoting their utility to making it so difficult for the attackers to push them out. But then also you had gunfights like Phyllis on New Balk, where both, maybe their sites just mutually blocked both of them from their purview, and the Valk Mr. B just happened to be the one that saw the sledge first. But either way, it's just kind of rounds like those where you wonder, like, Powerhaus, are you still there? Are we still going to see that same, not hyper aggressive, but high octane, incredibly refined and sophisticated playstyle we saw in your attacks earlier? It's making me worried a little bit. But hey, they still have 3 more rounds. Going into this next cycle, they'll have to try and take down Cocktail. But again, that's one of the sites that Valkyrie has won so far. Powerhaus, they're going to need to make some adjustments, or else this game, it's going to start slipping away for them.
The good thing for Valkyrie is they really seem to, I guess, degrade in skill from the first map. Sometimes if you lose a map, you can really just let yourself go a little bit. And that's definitely not happening with Valkyrie. They're still fighting very, very well, winning their gunfights when they need to. So it is nice to see you guys still alive. And Powerhaus definitely have made a couple of mistakes and a couple of, I guess, misplays when you're not able to find the kill you would like to find. And once again, no IQ means free reign of these lovely black eyes. They're going to do a whole lot of work. You also have Maestro, so both the eyes, all 5 eyes. Oh, excuse, no. How many does Valkyrie have? Oh, goodness.
3.
3,
Don't worry.
Okay. All 6 eyes. Oh, no, 5 eyes. Because he
5
only has
eyes,
2.
there you go.
Look
3
at me,
plus
I'm
2.
confused. Oh, no.
Dude, you're so confused. Can you imagine how they felt? X24 just ran out, vaulted, then just ran back inside. They're like, okay, I guess nothing will come of that. We don't have to worry anymore.
Oh, they don't. Here we go. My favorite part. Oh, yes.
Oh, we
They
missed.
go so high.
Dang. They do.
Oh,
It's
my
absurd. I mean, like, I don't understand why. I feel like it wasn't always like that, but it is the most absurd thing in this game. Aside from, like, the glitches and the game-breaking bugs, but, aside from those, most absurd thing takes the cake. By the way, while we were just, toking around, Mr. B, he's at 50 HP, and just Maverick teasing him with just the very, very slight tip of his cap, and he'll get away. Mr. B will continue to be at low HP, and he'll be down 1 kill. Glyph not getting too aggressive and giving away his life early on as the sole hard breacher for Powerhaus. That's what you like to see. Another thing we are currently seeing, Blastful bringing out the Wamai. It's the first time that operator has been brought this map in particular, and he's playing that same role that we saw the Echo play last time inside a bathroom behind this shield, and it gets destroyed right as I start talking about it, but he's got 1 more in his back pocket. I've seen pocket reinforcements, but I haven't seen pocket shields just yet. Blastful, he'll waste some more utility the attackers will have to clear, but they have an Ashe and a Zofia, 2 operators who can clear it. And this top floor hold that they had last round, that they made adaptations this round, it's looking just as rock solid.
Oh, absolutely. Things looking pretty dang good. The health on Valkyrie, a little bit of a worry now, as 2 guys are just around that 50 HP mark. Blastful, I guess he's more closer, or he's closer rather to the
65.
75. Yeah,
65, something like that.
Ooh, C4 coming up. Will it find anybody? No, just misses. Crank takes some damage. About 50 HP gone off of him. His blast will take a little bit more. Now, I'll say 55. Well, maybe more. I don't know. But he's definitely not feeling exactly healthy. With 40 seconds left, the execute needs to be able to come out fairly soon. But, the longer I cast for Siege, the more I recognize that time seems to be long and short at the same time. It's a very strange phenomenon, but these last 30 seconds can take forever, or they can go down very quickly. Looking for the plant here, but oh my goodness, boy be shooting. They took down the camera, but that's going to slow him down a little bit. Another shot from Esteem will take down Glyph. Now that Fuse is on the ground with 15 seconds left, Esteem getting fragged upon a little bit, but he's going to be okay. Mr. B still watching that skylight. A lot of stuff happening as Habini finds another big guy with yet another Blastful, and Mr. B are down. Habini is down 2, though, as Rated finished him off, and Esteem picks up another Crank, and X24 with a double kill. Phyllis and Big Guy both fall as Valkyrie take a huge round and are able to walk away unscathed. What a job from X24. The man goes from playing on a MacBook to just fragging out for his team, and I can't get enough of it.
X-24, I believe, was the name of the clone of Wolverine in the movie Logan. I might be wrong. It's either the young girl in Logan or it's the clone of Hugh Jackman. Either way, in my analogy, what I'm about to say, we're going to pretend, if I'm wrong, that it's the clone of Hugh Jackman. X-24, he has just been a machine, a ruthless killing machine this matchup. Maybe not to the extent Habini has, but he's been putting up impressive numbers himself as well. And just that double, that's just an inkling, a small sample, if you will, of what he's been capable of across these two maps. He somehow got a double. He killed the diffuser, started walking away, then turned 180 degrees to kill the Nomad. I mean, normal players, and by normal players, I mean me, cannot pull off things like that. In X-24, he's just continuing to demonstrate why he is so good. 8 kills so far. He's not even playing Jaeger. He's playing roles like Valkyrie, like Mute even. That's as far away from Jaeger as you can get, and he is excelling on it and playing it at a 10 out of 10 level. He's been lights out so far.
Well, you know, if you think it would be hard for an ordinary player, imagine a below average player like myself. It just, you know, it's something out of a dream. Oh man, I do pride myself on being trash at the game. It's something I like to flex every now and again. I'm bad at it, gosh dang it. And it's okay. It's okay, you can be bad. But here we go, looking for something. Was rated with his pistol out, but he won't be finding nothing as we continue to see the push on in. Valkyrie on defense looking to make it a very nice half for them, as Powerhaus found 1 round, but have since kind of fallen off the board a little bit. Of course, that was only 2 rounds ago that they won, or just, excuse me, my things are moving around. Yeah, 2 rounds ago, not counting this. So this is the 3rd round. If they lose this, it'll be 3 rounds.
Pen and paper, my friend. Pen and paper. It's always superior.
Oh man, absolutely. They don't just jump around on you, but I like the stylus. It's just so smooth and just
Right. That's right. There it is.
Talking to smooth.
Oh
man.
Speaking of smooth, look at this map control so far. It hasn't been all that smooth, but it's only been 50 seconds. We're not expecting too much. Actually, Habini has already gained upstairs map control. Nobody playing up there. The attackers will make quick work of all of that space, and they'll take control of it just right away from the defenders. But they haven't accounted for rated down below on that pulse. He's marking them through the floor and relaying that information back to his teammates. And if they're not careful, since that IQ is off the board, he can't get spotted through those floorboards, and he can throw that nitro cell with borderline impunity. Unless, of course, Phyllis on the sledge is able to open up some angles and take out that American operator. X-24 with the C4 as well will be the 2 players you guys need to be watching on the defense.
So we actually have seen a little bit of a role change, haven't we, with Habini now taking Ash. He was playing Phyllis's role of Sledge previously on Clubhouse, so they moved him more to that entry fragger. Just power through everybody, and that's what he's looking to do. C4 gonna come out, looks like it'll miss, and now 1 C4 off the board. Unfortunate for Valkyrie, but very fortunate indeed for Powerhaus, taking some good control of this 3rd floor. They really want to pressure down on the guys in reading. The usual sight that we see here, but oh my goodness, MRB, Mr. B with a beautiful frag onto Crank. Down goes him. Phyllis as well, shut down, as all of a sudden we are in a 3v5 with a lot of frags coming from Valkyrie and not a lot of time to refrag them. Mr. B very low on HP, so he could be taken down quite easily, but it's going to come down to Glyph, Big Guy, and Habini looking for some big plays still. Esteem continues to frag. Blastful goes down to a fast charge. Okay. Big Guy as well takes down Mr. B. It's a 2v3 situation now with Esteem, X-24, and rated all at full HP. This is gonna get a little bit crazy. Not a lot of time for the guys on Powerhaus to work this out, but if they do, they'll go down in history as a team who can attack really well with not a lot of time. Habini finds Esteem, but with just about 10 seconds, the push down the stairs it's gonna work. Big Guy finds it, and now he's in sight. The plant's going down from Habini, and X-24 is the last man standing, looking to change history, but the plant does go down. X-24, can he clutch it for his team? If anyone can do it, it's gonna be X-24. Look at the man, he's so close. Pulls out the shot, he's gonna rotate around, he's ready to go. SMG-11 out and gonna be, a good shot on a Big Guy. He just has 1 more to go with plenty of time on the diffuser. Habini has walked back a little bit. He's holding a very tight angle, but here comes him. Okay, Habini does shut down X24 in a battle of absolute monsters. Good grief, that was crazy.
I don't want to be rude, so I'm going to sugarcoat this to the best of my ability. Rated on white stairs, crosshair placement impeccable, exactly on head level. That Nomad walks through. Maybe it was ping, maybe it was Peeker's advantage. Who knows? But for whatever reason, that man just did not fire his bullets, and as a result, somehow Big Guy came away with that engagement. I mean, every day of the week, 24 hours a day, Rated gets that kill. But then just this happens. He just didn't react quick enough. And that made the push for Powerhaus work. Rated gets that kill. That's a Valkyrie round. That's done and dusted. We're up 4-1 right now. But instead, he just doesn't manage to get that engagement. And we're left with X24 in a 1v2. And you're right. If anybody could have done it, it would have been X24. But Powerhaus, they've shown that when they get those plants down, they're not a team to just end up losing the round and letting it get away from them. They'll hold those angles as long as they need to. And Habini, with 7 kills so far and still putting in the work for his team, he's not going to let just a mute with the SMG-11 throw a wrench in his team's plans.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh, that was absolutely insane. A fantastic round as we go back again to the mining fireplace. A pretty, mining and dining, rather. A site that you don't really see, but we've seen it twice so far. So it apparently is in Valkyrie's meta, and they have won. It was a great round for them, but Powerhaus is just one round away from securing that 3-3 half, which is absolutely phenomenal for them for their attacking half. Valkyrie struggling a little bit tonight, not something we normally see, and Powerhaus could definitely take advantage. If they win this right here, they could just go hard. If they can secure the 4-2, it'll be over on their attacking or their defending half. So this is a big round for both Valkyrie and Powerhaus. Valkyrie looking to make it that 4-2, give them a nice little buffer zone when they take the offense, and Powerhaus looking to keep it nice and even Steven. It could go either way. Both teams have been fragging out so well, it's hard to say which side has the advantage. But at the end of the day, one side will, and one side's going to come away with the win on this final round of the half.
Certainly, and we've been talking about X24 on the side of Valkyrie a lot, but one person we do need to talk about is Mr. B. He hasn't been as flashy as X24, but he's putting up 6 kills, just a little bit behind X24's 9, I believe. And I mean, you saw what happened last round. He's using the Vector, a gun that is basically a trash can that shoots bullets, and he got 2 kills, 2 headshots on top of that. In that second gunfight, he probably shouldn't have ended up winning. And I mean, you got a guy like that on the MPX as well. He can make do with those weapons that you probably shouldn't be getting too many kills to. And he's the other one you got to watch out for. X24, he's playing on that Jaeger now, clearly feeling himself. He's ready to take that roaming role that we have seen Esteem play and that we've seen Mr. B probably flirt with. But instead, again, X24, he'll be the main one with that 416. And if you're putting up numbers like that, that's a great gun to hand, or to put in his hands, I should say.
Oh, absolutely, man. And already we're seeing a little bit of pressure come out onto that third floor. I say already, but it's already been almost 2 minutes, about 1 minute and 50 seconds have drained. As this is getting a little bit crazy now. Both teams seem to execute very late, but Esteem's going to execute onto Glyph beautifully. A nice C4 will catch the man unawares, and he is now dead. So, RIP to him, but oh my goodness, what a landing right on the table.
Yeah, that's perfect. He's just chilling right there. He's just all stretched out.
Oh gosh, that's terrifying. Poor man. But they are going to be walking with a man down. Phyllis at very low HP too. They've come back from things like this, but Valkyrie in a dominant position as the time continues to tick lower and lower.
Certainly, and we've seen Powerhaus be down in the 4-2 before, and they're fighting to try and make it better than they were on Clubhouse last time. Big guy about to come into engagement with the Jaeger, and he'll land one shot, but not the one he needs. It's X24 to take off the head of the Nomad. And with so many members of Powerhaus on low HP, it's almost inevitable. Crank will try and stop it, but he gets refragged by X24 on that prone angle. And now it's just Phyllis on 25 HP. He lands one, but not the other. Blastful rounds it out, and Valkyrie, they end their defensive half on a 4-2, something we saw the reverse of last time. Valkyrie ended at 4-2 on their attacking half, and we'll see if Powerhaus, they can do just as Valkyrie have just done.
It's going to be really interesting. Like you said, the roles kind of switch. So when you normally expect a 4-2 for the defensive half, Valkyrie on Clubhouse were able to get that 4-2 on their offensive half. So that's pretty crazy, man. but they still ended up losing it, which is even crazier. It was, double overtime match point, but you started off so good and Powerhouse were able to just power back. So I definitely expect some great defense unless Valkyrie really does have some crazy offensive skills, and they just might. This is going to be a huge round to really get a feel of how this is going to go. Bar Cocktail oftentimes is a very, very powerful site, so I'm excited to see if Valkyrie can crack it or will Powerhouse stay strong. They're bringing out some great operators. Look at us. We got ourselves Wamai. We got ourselves the lovely Goyo Castle coming out. Castle been seen a little bit raise in popularity after his lovely little stealing of poor Mozzie's little super shorty. He's become a little bit of a shooter now.
I want that super. I mean, I'm fine with it being on Castle, but Mozzie, I want him to have that super shorty back. There's no reason to take it in the first place, but that's all I'll say. I can talk about that for a bit.
Just Control C, Control V it, man, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's coding. That's game design, I believe. That's how Reddit has taught me that Rainbow Six Siege was developed. It's just Control C, Control V. So yeah, I mean, Ubisoft, no excuse. No excuse. No, there's a pandemic, but just come on, man. This is...
I think every op should have access to the super shorty. You know what I'm saying?
That is a bold claim right there. Just every single operator on attack and defense, just have the super shorty. Doesn't even matter.
Nope. All hatches, if they're left off, just instant, we're talking rotate everywhere. That would be a nice time. That would be, I guess that kind of was a game mode with the shotguns only. But,
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
Fun.
Yeah, it was all right. I'm not a big fan of those game modes. I do like attrition though. Attrition is something. Honestly, I know we're steering away from the game, but attrition was something I would like to see a joke comp match about that. Just like instead of banning, we have attrition. I don't know, but that's just me. Either way, I digress. Habib's gonna take down a Steam. He's gonna try and use that super shorty we talked about earlier to escape a very aggressive play, and X24, he's watching and he won't let you get away with highway robbery. But Esteem, he still got away with a bit of cash in his pocket. Esteem being taken off the board means you'll be out ash charges and flashbangs to burn those ADSs and Wamais. And with how little utility you have on the attack to burn all of those, those shields, those Goyo shields, and those projectile denial devices, that's going to be a major burden for Valkyrie going in on this attack and the exact kind of play Powerhouse need. It's a one-for-one trade, but honestly, I think Powerhouse come away with that.
I mean, it's your castle. He already does his job, and he's got, what people say is one of the worst guns in the game. I have more respect for it because people, they do that stuff. They're able to frag with it, although it doesn't hold up in clutch situations most of the time. It still is a very slow-firing weapon. But you hit heads, you kill people, that's how it goes. About a minute and 30 seconds have passed, just under that now, as we will begin a little bit of a push in, perhaps. X24 just chilling outside of the mining window, wanting to get in, but it's going to be cracked to take down Blastful. That's a nice pick. Bye-bye, Hard Breacher. Not sure if he already did his job of opening up the wall there by Piano. He did indeed. Okay, yeah, so he did do his job, and we'll be able to get a live first view action of that thanks to Kaiser. Appreciate you, man. You're a fantastic observer, broadcaster, producer, all of the above. You do it great.
I was about to say, did you see that C4 follow he had through the floor? I mean, he followed that perfectly right there. That was beautiful. And they don't teach you that in observing school. So, clearly, we got someone. He is up for the challenge. Speaking up for the challenge, X24 continuing to show up. 13 kills, and that was his 13th right there. Big guy getting taken out, the Goyo. Already used his C4, so for the most part, his impact on the round wasn't going to be much unless he started fragging out, and he'll be on cam duty for the rest of the round. But it's only 25 seconds left, and Glyph is still on Pixel, but X24, he takes out his support in the Jaeger, and he's got to rotate off if he wants any chance of surviving. Phyllis, the only one left on the defense, will be the last one alive as Glyph gets taken out, and now it is just the Alda with 81 bullets last, and he takes out the Buck. It's just X24. He's been performing so well, and he's got to get one more kill to finish this round out for his team, and it's not going to happen. Phyllis pretty much uses the entire magazine to take down the rest of the attackers, and with X24 being gone, Powerhouse start to bring it back, but they still got a mountain to climb if they want to end this series 2-0.
Oh my goodness, man, that was crazy. I thought X24 was going to have the advantage. He kind of came from behind, but you saw the great movement from Phyllis, was able to turn around, get the shots off. Like you said, the Alda with 81 in the massive belt-fed mag is just going to be able to keep on shooting. Downstairs to Reading Fireplace now we go. A traditional site, to be sure, not mining and dining. Weird. Instead, it'll be here. We are seeing the lovely Valkyrie and Echo come out. No reason to not play them as IQ is banned. So bye-bye G8. Bye-bye
Yeah.
gadget. It's a free roam for these pesky black guys and peskier, stinky echo drones, yokai drones. I forgot their names, so I was trying to stall for time as I remembered it, but yokai, got it right.
I'm just stuck on the stinky adjective. I did not anticipate. That was not the adjective I anticipated to be used there, but it was the one you decided to break down. I mean, listen, if Thatcher and IQ are off the board, those are the two main counters for at least stunning or, rendering useless for a short amount of time those yokais and those black eyes. So not bringing them would honestly be a dumb decision, and both teams are. And you know what? Maybe that's a reason we've seen. I mean, Cafe is normally defender's sided map, but maybe that's one of the reasons we've seen Powerhaus struggle on those attacks, is because you don't have that IQ to see those yokais when they're invisible, to see their black eyes when they're in hard to reach places, and they don't have the Thatcher to stun the black eyes and stun the yokais. Maybe having those tools in their arsenal going into this half, they have just won that last round, maybe that'll enable them to bring this back and run it back.
They very well could, man, and that would be serving up Valkyrie their first defeat of the season. This is a team that said their only real competition is Slaughterhouse. So very, very confident of their abilities, and Powerhaus right now is not exactly in the position to look at all like the guys on Slaughterhouse. These guys are in 6th place. Very, very low because they haven't had exactly the best start of the season, but they could get something going right here. This would be a great time to just change the flow of this season.
It absolutely would. Can you imagine just what a statement this would be, taking out basically what is essentially tied for the first place if you discount Slaughterhouse's bye they got this week? It would be an incredible statement for Powerhaus to make. Valkyrie, as you said, they do a lot of trash talking sometimes, and Powerhaus, they were certainly letting their gameplay speak for them. And one thing you can see speaking of right now, big guy, he speaks with only explosions. It just booms from this man's mouth, and he drops a bomb from below on the Buck and the Zofia. Talk about high-impact frags. That mute, he's full of them. Blastful gets one refrag onto Crank the Wamai, but there's so much damage, and now Hibini, he's taken down Blastful. Only down, could still be revived. He'll try and fire through the floor, and there you go. Valkyrie, just the round slips through their fingers like sand on the beach. It's just falling, and you just can't catch it all. Now it's a Steam and X24 left in a 2 versus 4, and with the Valk and the Echo still left on site. I'm not sure if Glyph still has a C4, but Phyllis still has his Toxic Babes. They have so much utility. Does not have the C4, but again, Phyllis still has those Toxic Babes. Valkyrie, they're going to need a miracle at this point if they want to bring it back.
Oh yeah, man. They still have some time, though, to work it out. A minute to go, about 50 seconds now. And X24 with 14 kills and just 3 deaths.
Oh.
14 kills and just 4 deaths. Looking pretty good. Esteem on the other end with 4 and 4. You know, he's running a 1.0 KD, but nothing like we've seen from other teammates before. But I mean, he could do it. He could win the 1v4, clutch it up for his team. But I mean, he could also win the lottery and become a millionaire. There's a lot of things that could happen, but with an Echo on the board, with a Smoke on the board, with everyone on the board, basically, besides Wamai, you are in a bad position. He does find one on a Glyph, a nice shot to take down the Valkyrie, take down some Evil Eyes too, but he's only got about 10 seconds to make his execute, and that, sir, is not going to be easy. With just 5 seconds, can he even get to sight? He will be able to get sight, but it's going to be immediately, yeah, it's not going to happen because he gets shot.
An incredibly, I was about to say unfortunate round, but honestly, I wouldn't describe it that way. A great play by Powerhaus. We've often seen teams try and play that C4 below in train. And honestly, more often than not, Christmas is kind of a big room. They end up missing their C4. We've seen it work a couple times, but that has got to be the best outcome you could have hoped for in all probability. I mean, 2 kills on your Buck, your main source of soft destruction, and your Zofia, who, along with Ash, clears out those ADSs and Wamais. I mean, that's just an absolute banger of a pick from Powerhaus. And they've shown that maybe it is really that Valkyrie and Echo, or that, I should say, that IQ and Thermal and Thatcher being banned. That was the real problem on their attacks, because they are certainly making a show on their defenses, and they are just running laps upon laps around Valkyrie's attacks.
This has been literally one of the best matches I think I've ever.
Oh, without question. Without question.
It's so much fun. And we're only, I mean, about 3/4 through the second map here. So Good grief, man. And you know what? Valkyrie still has a chance to take us to a map 3, but Powerhaus is looking stronger and stronger every single time. I mean, 2 rounds in a row they've won. Reading, I mean, it was a very nice C4, like you mentioned, onto 2 great ops. So, was it just because of that great C4 that they won? It did come down to a 1v4, so maybe it would have been a 3v4. Still, I don't know. We'll have to find out if Valkyrie can win on Kitchen. They still could pull into the lead here, but Powerhaus too. They've caught up from that 2-4 deficit. 4-4 tied it up. And now this is where Valkyrie needs to come to play if they want to win on the map. Powerhaus is literally a powerhouse right now, and it is insane to watch.
Without question, my friend, without question. And Valkyrie, they just don't have an answer for it so far. One thing I would like an answer for is the reason that soft wall for Freezer is entirely soft. That's something you don't see very often. You might see a rotate made on the bottom left, as you can see right there, but instead, the entire wall has been left soft. And if they want to play aggressively to try and make the attackers nervous on white stairs, then hey, maybe it'll work out. But from my point of view, that's just free real estate the attackers can take and gain entry into Freezer, where we so often see teams execute from. Now, we might see a bakery attack, but again, it all depends.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, stop. I hate you. I hate it here.
I had to do it for Kaiser. I had to do it for Kaiser. He loves the prequel.
I mean, you know what? If we're gonna get a meme in here, might as well be a prequel Revenge of the Sith meme. I mean, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. It's whatever.
Oh, I love it, man. Good times. Well, we're tied up for under 2 minutes to go. Breaking stuff down, looking real aggressive. Mr. B hoping to find something quick, but it's going to be Crank finding Esteem. Bye-bye, Ash. I'll say it time and time again. Ashes are always the first to get a frag or be fragged, and it will be the case here.
It's extremely problematic. Ash is basically the entry operator, but again, with how critical her utility is, if she gets fragged out immediately, that could spell doom for a team's round. Thankfully, while Maya isn't in play, Big Guy is on the dock this time. Maybe going to try and play some long angles inside of side. He's in co-check right now, so he's going to be contesting down over by White Garage and over by that main door where Mr. B is currently residing, and will be looking to try and open that castle barricade and take the dock out before he can cause any damage with that MP5 ACOG. Speaking of attacks, it looks like it's going to be coming over. I was about to say from that bakery side, but it doesn't even look like that. But it might just be the sparse man count as Crank takes down X24. And it's only 3 members of Valkyrie left. One still up top. And the Zofia looked like he wasn't even looking towards him, but he turns and he just takes Crank's head right off. Jaeger won't have any more effect, and Phyllis with the UMP. Mr. B was already at low health. He'll take him out. Glyph adds 1 more to that count, and it's just rated the Buck left in a 1v4. He's got the C8, a very powerful gun, but it doesn't matter if you're not looking towards the person who kills you. And Habini, he brings Powerhaus to the lead for, I believe, the very first time this matchup.
Let's get a peek at the stats real quick. I want to see these kills, man. So we got 10 from Habini, but then the rest of the team really showing up with 7, 6, 5, and then Glyph playing a little bit more of that support role. I mean, you do have X24 going off. The kills are actually pretty even, but I think those middle of the road kills are just a little bit higher at this point for the guys on Powerhaus, and maybe that's going to make the big difference. X24 definitely someone to watch, though. The two giants here, Habini and X24, directly above and below each other. They're so fun to watch. X24 goes crazy, but honestly, it has been a battle of 2 titans since last round or since last map, and it's really coming down to, can the other teammates raise up and continue to be these little minions? It's like in Titanfall. You got the titans, and then you got the pilots running around. Yeah, who's going to be a pilot helping out the titan? Because you know what, titans can't just win things by themselves. They're powerful, but at the end of the day, I mean, you could take one down pretty easy if you have enough little pilots coming around.
Probably behind Rainbow Six Siege is Titanfall 2. Great game, by the way.
Oh,
just quick ad. Maybe this is violating some rules, but Titanfall 2, great game. Highly recommend. Probably on sale because it always is. Anyway, back to the match. It's gonna be. Oh, by the way, it was a perfect cycle for Powerhaus, so don't think I'm letting that slide. Good, they were down 2-4. They're now at 5-4 again. First time they've taken the lead this matchup. and they are just looking so strong on these defenses. It hasn't even been a contest so far. Maybe a little bit. Maybe it's gotten close, but really it's been Powerhouse's game this entire time. They'll continue to make use of those Valk cams and Yokais that have been oh so instrumental on both Valkyrie's and Powerhouse's defenses so far. And you mentioned how Habini and X24 have been fragging out, and I just want to highlight once more, they're not doing it on your traditional fragging operators. X24 has basically exclusively played Nomad this half, and Habini, sure, Valk may be a bit more of a fragging operator, but again, it's not in the same vein as, say, a Jaeger or a Vigil. And the MPX does about 25 damage. It's a P shooter, and he's putting in the work with it. And they're going to continue putting in the work on this half. And on this cocktail defense, they won it that very first round, and if they continue this streak, then it's only going to be 2 more rounds before Powerhouse close it out.
That's ridiculous, man. They're absolutely dominating so far. That said, Valkyrie still a very powerful team that we cannot underestimate, but I mean, it's looking grimmer and grimmer. If they, I don't know, man. That's going to be so tough, but being able to do the perfect rotate, like you mentioned a little minute before, is huge. That means you've done every site pretty much perfectly.
It's not something you see often.
That's crazy. It really isn't, and it is indicative of a team that feels very comfortable on this map. And this is Valkyrie's map. That's one of the things, man. You see these tier 3 players are so comfortable with so many different maps. Well, not so many, mainly the top 3 of
Mainly
Villa,
Club, Cafe, and Oregon.
Clubhouse. Maybe a little bit of Oregon. But a Steam, now at like 1 HP. That's going to hurt.
It certainly is. One shot from any gun in the entire game, even the P shooter of an MPX that Habini has, is going to take him out. Mr. B will join the ranks of the extremely borderline on death's door club, being put down to 25 HP as well. Any gun will take him out. So then they can both just kind of hide in the back and hope they don't get shot before their time occurs. And look at this, a punch hole peek through the cocktail bar from Big Guy. We see peeks like that just absolutely destroy teams. But if he gets droned out, you see the punch hole. It is so easily pre-fireable that even a Steam or Mr. B on their deficit in HP could take him out. It'll be X24 instead on Skylight to take out the smoke as their first kill, and there you go. That's Zofia. She gets taken out from that peak. Either pre-fire missed or pre-fire non-existent. No matter what, Zofia, she's out of this round. She'll be watching drones and hoping she can catch some flanks and be some use to her team. Big Guy will continue his streak, taking out Blastful. That wasn't even the Ash on low HP, but that was the man with Diffuser. And with only 25 seconds left, your man count is becoming extremely stringent, and you're going to need every single body and make every single bullet count if you want to try and even this 5-5. Again, 15 seconds left. Habini close inside a bathroom, waiting for the push, either through that cocktail door or through Freezer. X24 takes out one. Habini gets the refrag onto his Steam. Habini takes out one more. Now it is just X24, the Nomad. He's got 5 seconds to try and make the impossible possible, and it's not going to happen. Powerhouse push it to match point, and they are possibly 3 minutes away from ending this series 2-0.
This is absolutely insane, man. I cannot lie. I really of tonight's series, because if you look at their stats, they're not exactly flying colors, you know, a little bit rough, but this is a team that you cannot underestimate. This is a great team, and we're learning that time and time again. As I think Cheeks was the guy in chat who kind of called us out for underestimating him. So I wonder if that's the same Cheeks there, but
Cheeks, that round was for you. That round was for you.
Absolutely, man. Powerhouse standing at match point. This is crazy. Not what I expected out of the series, but I am extreme. I can't even speak. I'm so excited. This is insane. It's fantastic. And at this point, like you said, couple minutes and we could be out of here.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
Absolutely. And being done before midnight would be a bit of a shock because it's not something that normally happens. But hey, honestly, if I'm gonna be completely honest, if we have to go past midnight for this series, I'd be okay with it. It's been an absolute barn burner so far, even for a 2-0. And Valkyrie, they're down 2 rounds. It's gonna take monumental effort to try and bring this back. They've already gone to overtime once, and going to overtime, even on a second match, can take a lot out of a team. Both teams, really. Despite the fact that how dominant Powerhouse looked, it's gonna tire out both teams if it goes to that degree. But again, Powerhouse, they have won 4 defensive rounds in a row. They have not looked like they're going to drop around anytime soon, and if they keep playing the same game they've been playing, making Valkyrie play catch-up and play the game that Powerhouse want them to play, then it's almost all she wrote.
It really is, man. I mean, I can hear the fat lady warming her voice. She's ready.
Oh, she's warming up. She's warming the pipes. She's about to start belting the tune.
I mean, maybe, man. Valkyrie have done some crazy things. Powerhaus, just like you said, been so solid on this defense. It looks impenetrable. It looks so difficult to break in there. You even saw the opening frag go with the Valkyrie. They were able to take one of the Powerhaus guys out, but immediately you saw Phyllis, or was it Big Guy? Excuse me, it was Big Guy on the punch holes who just got the refrags, 2 of them. And at that point, Valkyrie, you know, you're facing this massive amount of man count, but also the Echo's still up. Dude, this IQ is really pushing this into a defender-sided match.
I mean, yeah,
she is an important operator. She really is.
It's kind of like one of those things where, I mean, so, to use a CSGO example, it's like if you know CSGO, Stewie2K, a player, he would push through smokes. And there was always this unwritten rule that you wouldn't push through smokes. And when he started doing it, he started killing people left and right. It's kind of like, well, Esteem gets one on the Big Guy. There goes the castle taken down. So good opening frag to him, and Valkyrie now have an opening. But just to wrap up my point, an IQ ban, we know how powerful of an operator she is, but she just hasn't been banned for so long. Maybe this is one of those things where we just kind of never thought about it, but now that it's been banned, maybe it's something teams will look into. Speaking of look into, and Mr. B is going to try to look in and get an angle onto Phyllis, and he just gets punished. A good night from the Maestro, and you get tucked in all the way back to the bottom of that rappel, lying on the ground, just a dead man. Now the man count has been even. Minute 15 left, and this is still even. It doesn't go directly to one side or the other. Reading Fireplace is definitely one of the more defender-sided sites on this map. And that means, if it's a defender-sided site, it's a Powerhaus-sided map.
This is crazy, man, because this isn't Powerhaus fighting back from a 1-0, trying to take us to a map 3. This is them looking to shut it down. Taking a lot of damage. Is Crank barely going to survive that? Good grief. The man is lucky to walk away with any HP at all. Oh, I thought Rated had him for sure, but just going to miss out on the kill. As with 40 seconds left, Valkyrie still with even man count, like you mentioned, has a chance, but they're going to need to execute very well. We're actually not seeing the Valkyrie or the Echo this round, as maybe it's just not as feasible here on this lower side. But Blastful moving in, going to find one onto Crank. Beautiful shot, pushing in, looking to keep his team alive. The smokes are going to start flying, and that is one of the operators you do not want to see at the end. Another kill from Blastful, takes down Phyllis. The plant is going down as his team takes Cliff. It's all upon Habini. Can the man do it? He's been crazy, but can he be crazy again in a 1v3 situation? It is the man, the myth, the absolute legend against pretty much the entire world. You got Blastful on Hibana, X24 on Nomad, and Rated on the Buck. Literally, the entire world is against him. So many nationalities here ready to duke it out. And with just 20 seconds to get on there and start defusing, Habini finds a kill under Rated. It's a double kill. He's going to have to find the quad to clutch this up, but he's running out of time, and the angles held might be too much. Shots come in. He's taken down to just over 25 HP, and now time is going to be too little, too late. That round will go to Valkyrie as Blastful cleans it up for, I believe, a 4K or a 3K.
Either way, the Hibana doing work with that Type 89, and honestly, it was a 1v2, make that a 1v4 initially before he got that initial kill down on the pillars. But with what this man has been doing and the magic he has been creating before our eyes, once it got down to a 1v2, in reality, the rational part of me knew the time wasn't on his side. But, you know, the emotional part of me was like, maybe he can pull it off. Maybe he can do it. Now, fortunately, Powerhaus, they are still 1 round away from victory. But Valkyrie, they're 1 round away from bringing this to overtime. It'll take all 12 rounds to decide if Powerhaus walk home the victor or if Valkyrie will hold on for 2 to 3 more rounds. Kitchen and Service will be the site that Powerhaus will try to make their final stand on. And this is the final defensive round in this half. But importantly, Valkyrie, this is the first, or last round was the first attacking round they won in this entire half. It would take a 2-4 to try and bring this back. And honestly, sure, they might have won that last one, but it's still not looking good for this team.
So Motive, I think, mentioned a while back that he thinks this is going to be max T on every single map. So 45 rounds coming out. And honestly, I could see it. Valkyrie could definitely win this out, and we could see a big battle. Let me check who's going to be starting off on defense for Cafe in overtime, just in case we do end up going there.
I know who, but I'm waiting for you to say it.
Oh, no.
I want you to figure it out.
It is... Wait, why is it... Okay, it's Powerhaus choosing to defend. Yes. Okay, very nice.
So, you know defense? that side that Powerhouse has been dominating on so far. Yeah, if this goes to OT, they're starting on it. So, oh, and by the way, they have won every single bomb site and they've won cocktail
Actually,
twice. So, you
I
know.
think I read that wrong. I think it's Valkyrie who's starting on Cafe for overtime on defense.
Oh yeah, I was looking at club. Sorry, I was looking at my club. So never mind.
Looking at Consulate. We're looking at every map besides Cafe.
Dude, we're just so stunned by this game that we're stunned in real life. We can't even read our notes anymore. We're just freaking out, man. It's just, I mean, this game has been something. We keep saying that over and over. We're like a broken record at this point, but I think you all can agree this game has been absolute insanity the entire time. Just to continue to look, X24 and Habini. This really is the duel between the fragging masters. Habini 15 kills, X24 leads with 16. Just one more, and he's playing that Jackal. He's got the C70. That's one of the best assault rifles in the game right there. And I'm sure if this man can make work with the AK-47, this man can absolutely tear through defenders with that C70. He's going to be tracking Habini, his nemesis, you could call him. Only be tracked for a short amount of time. The final ping will ring out. And now the Legion just stuck inside of mining. Him and Crank will be the first two lines of defense that the attackers will meet on this roam clear.
Oh yeah, a little bit of mute jam going to be affecting that. We're heading down to kitchen, so a very, very low take of the third floor as really these guys kind of need to get on their horses eventually, right? I mean, we're headed seconds and some of these guys taking their time, which there's nothing wrong with that as long as you can execute well at the final moments, which both teams have proven that they certainly can. Valkyrie, however, has no room for mistakes. They win this, they go to overtime. They lose this, their first loss of the season comes out from Powerhaus, and Powerhaus becomes an absolute legend on the bracket. They're looking great if they can win it out. But Valkyrie desperately trying to make this happen. Let's see if they can. Just over a minute and 10 seconds left, and really you're not seeing too much control. Esteem now going to be entering the first floor, looking to move around, trying to get some of this control that we're talking about happening, but Crank ready to execute as well. Ooh, this is going to be a fight. Two guys, one from the stairs. It'll be Esteem taking out Crank at 4-5 situation name, but he is now dead in the dirt, done and dusted. Ooh. Advantage of man does go to Valkyrie.
Indeed, it does. And the one thing I'm worried about this attack, as you said, it's taking so long. They brought a Jackal on X24, but that means their only hard breacher is this Hibana, and she'll be dedicating all of her utility to opening that freezer wall. That means Hatch will be reinforced, and nobody can support from above, and they'll all have to rush through if that's where they want to make their execute from. But they still have the man advantage, and that is something that you cannot buy with money. That's something that you have to earn, and they'll continue to try and earn this push. Blastful, he'll break through the castle barricade, but Gillespie's playing close with that shotgun. One will walk in, and how do you win that fight, Esteem? You should not have won that. Big Guy will try to answer back, but Phyllis on low HP, and Big Guy as well. With the plant going down, it's all up Habini to be the main line of defense, and he just got taken out by X24. And your Yokais are too late, Big Guy. Your timing is just all off, and we'll be going to OT on Cafe as Big Guy with 1 HP. Pings will try to come out, but it's almost all but over. You know, it is all but over. He'll try to get some shots from the Jackal to pad his stats. And Valkyrie, they'll be starting, I believe, on the attack on overtime. That is exactly what you want to see if you just won your attacks 4-2.
Oh my goodness, man. So, I mean, they were able to match. Both teams went 4-2 on defense, and this is going to be really, really big here. Let's see who will start. Looks like Valkyrie indeed does start on defense. So this is going to be big. I mean, if we look at the stats traditionally, we look at history. Let's go back to our history memes.
History lesson.
Both teams won their defensive sides 4-2. So, I mean, that would and should give an advantage to the guys on Valkyrie, but all it takes is a single round to upset that. It does mean that the guys on Powerhaus will have to win an attacking round, and that is hard because all Valkyrie has to do is win 2 defending rounds, and that is much easier, or at least it appears to be, than winning on an attacking round. This is going to be big right here to decide, are we going to our final map of Consulate, almost forgot, or will we be ending here? Just a couple more rounds will be the figuring out site of this question as we head all the way to Bar Cocktail.
You're absolutely right. I did misspeak earlier. Defense is definitely the round you want, or definitely the side you want to be on in Valkyrie. As you said, they're gifted that on a silver platter, and that's where they'll be starting. Bar Cocktail, as you said, first bomb site that they'll be defending. And one last history lesson. I promise we'll stop after this. I promise you. They won it twice, and I don't think Powerhaus won it a single time when they attacked on this side. Also important to note, let's just remember that this happened. They won mining twice, just because that was a thing that happened this game. If we didn't need it to be crazy enough, they went mining twice and won it both times, because why not, I guess? That'd be my guess. Either way, Cocktail decide they did one twice. We'll potentially try and win it a third time with the exact same setup that they brought out the previous 2 times. Blastful sitting inside a bathroom behind that deployable shield. He got a couple kills in those first couple times they defended it, and he'll likely be just as hard to push out going into this time. Glyph also 6-picked off from the Maverick to the Thermite, meaning that the only source of frag grenades and the only source who can clear out from bathroom will be Phyllis. And X24, he's been so on point this match, but he's just kind of lost in the sauce right now, just walking out a coat check in a fugue state almost, will get shot in the back by Crank. And starting out on the defense with your favorite side, that's not where you want to be starting out.
Oh, yeah, I mean, X24 has been a top fragger, and to lose him is just not what you want to see. The Valkyrie perhaps less important. You do lose a nice little C4, and they're gonna try to get something going here, as we do see Mr. B running around the man's got the black eyes on the R. Actually, no, what do they call the R4C? That is dumb. The 416.
Ash Jaeger. Ash Jaeger. You get him mixed up.
Same thing, easy. And now at this point, with the man advantage going to Powerhaus, they need to be able to push that advantage. You don't want to lose that. You want to keep the pressure on Valkyrie, but Valkyrie time and time again have been able to fanjangle themselves out of these sketchy situations. That's why we're here in overtime, because they fanjangled themselves out of sketchy situations. Let's see if they can do it again. If they win here, they'll have a great chance of ending it up on round 15. But we'll have to see, because Powerhaus is an actual powerhouse, and they're looking to power through Valkyrie. With just a minute and 10 seconds to go, things are going to get very heated. You do see they're bringing out all the cards. You've got 3 of the best operators to have at the end of the round. You've got the Echo, you've got the Maestro, you've got the Smoke. These guys want to win, and they're going to do pretty much anything to achieve that.
The real question is if Valkyrie can, or Powerhaus I should say, can power through this defense. They got the opening pick, but since then they've all but stalled out. Only now, with 45 seconds remaining, getting Christmas control. They'll go to open that freezer reinforced wall, but again, it's the Maestro, the Echo, the Smoke, all in sight with their utility completely intact. You've got to try and get these frags or somehow bait out an almost seemingly bottomless pit of utility. And if they don't, well, it's going to be Valkyrie moving to match point. But again, they still have the man advantage. They can make quick work of the defenders. They have the power to do so with the kills they have. And it'll be a repel in, and Crank, he gets taken down. It's not going to happen. That's already a warning sign if your power is going on this attack. Smoke will go out. The big guy, he doesn't care. He's just going to stick it, and it doesn't matter. He's on low HP. It's a 1v4. He has to wait so much time, but I mean, this is the kind of post-play that the attackers are destined to lose. He gets one, but he doesn't get the other. Valkyrie, they bring us to match point on what could have been a great stick and great play by the Nomad. But what is instead a great retake and great defense by Valkyrie.
Oh my goodness. Now, if I remember correctly, it was around 13 that Valkyrie won on CCTV back in the days of Clubhouse. Were they on attack or defense all the way back there? I shall check for the overtime of Clubhouse. Powerhaus chose to defend, so they were able to. Okay, so Powerhaus was kind of at the advantage in Clubhouse with their choice, but they did end up losing that first round. They were able to come back with an attacking win and then a defensive win. So this is going to get crazy, because they have to do that again. They have to take this defensive win and then finish up on round 15 with a beautiful attacking win in order to make sure they finish it here, while Valkyrie is just 1 point away. Echo going to be I want to say switch picked for some reason. 6-picked onto somebody else as Ying comes in.
Oh, no.
The Ying. Ooh, boy.
Thank God they brought the Wamai and the Jaeger, dude, because they are going to need every single bit of that projectile denial. Ying does burn quite a few if it ends up bursting before they get caught. So again, we'll just have to see how this pans out. But you're seeing Ying rushes. Ying rushes are the kind of thing they either work perfectly or they don't work at all. And recently, in a LATAM game, and I know because I watched LATAM this week, which is why I'm bringing it up, on Cafe, we saw a LATAM team. I don't remember the exact team, but what they did every single time was they tried to Ying rush Skylight. They did it like 4 times. It failed each time. Now, I'm intrigued to see if Valkyrie employ a similar strategy, because when you think of Ying, your mind always goes to trying to rush that site. Now, it doesn't happen often, but we might see that similar skylight play. Toss a few candelas down, try to get the plant over by that cigar doorway. We just have to see how this plays out. But Valkyrie, they've certainly made a convincing showing, and both teams, if this goes to map 3, and they need to be proud of how they have played today. Valkyrie, they have not lost the plot. They have not lost the mental game. They are still holding on. Going into this round, Powerhaus certainly may be favored, but Valkyrie, their mental game. Whew, I can't imagine what it's like in these comms right now.
Oh, it's got to be absolutely insane, man. It's just, you really do have to give props to both teams. They fought so well, and this could be the end of Cafe. We could immediately be heading on over to the final map, and boy, oh boy, will we have a lovely long night. This is getting crazy. Valkyrie have been the kings of coming back when faced with match point. They've done it twice now. But Powerhaus seems to be able to win, at least out of the one sample we have. Let's see how this is going to go. Valkyrie looking to finish up. Powerhaus looking to take us to round 15. Defense on Bar Cocktail. So far, if we want more history lessons, which I know you promised wasn't going to happen, so I'll make this short. Defense has not seen a single loss when defending Bar Cocktail. It has always gone the way of the defending team. That is insane. Ooh, first pick could come out on X24 once again. Just going to see the head. Habini taking a little bit of damage. You don't want Habini to go down. That is your main man, the Fragger. 15-8 right now. Not as impressive as before, but Glyph takes X24 down. Esteem with a refrag.
What?
Oh, big guy takes down Blastful. And all of a sudden, things looking very good for Powerhaus. Two of the big names down. It's going to be Habini now dropped. Will he be finished off or picked up? I do not know, but he is down, but not outrated at very low HP, trying to gain some control here as the Steam is getting fragged upon too. Phyllis takes down Mr. B. It is now a 4v2 situation in favor of Powerhaus. They're looking to take us to that match point, double overtime. Let's see if it will happen with just a minute to go. Esteem and Rated have a very to climb if they want to end this map here.
I mean, how are Big Guy and Habini now being taken out, but how is Big Guy still alive? They had 3 people pushing training, and he manages to pick up one more? What? Glyph finishes off the kill, but he hip fires the Ashe and downs her. I mean, Powerhaus, they're just getting away with just robbery here. This is what should be happening. Big Guy should be dead, and he'll pick up one more. He's alive, and he's still getting those frags. And it takes all 15 rounds for a second time this series to decide who is winning Cafe.
I absolutely love this, man. This feels like it's a playoff game, and it's not even. These are just... I cannot wait for the playoffs to come and to have this intensity all the time. Overtime match point. Back on defense is Valkyrie. They have the advantage here, but will they have the win? They want to take us to console so badly. That is going to be their goal. But on the other hand, both teams just one round away from taking their goal. Oh, man. Powerhaus on the cusp of greatness. Just 3 minutes away from potentially ending the series. Do they have what it takes?
Well, if they 6-pick the Ashe to the Ashe, then I don't know exactly how this next round is gonna be playing out. We'll just have to see. This is a lot, man. I don't even have words. I honestly don't have words for how great this series has been. I mean, can you get a closer series than this? Potentially, if Powerhaus win, it would have taken 30 rounds to figure it out. And if Valkyrie win this map, we'll be going to map 3, where likely we'll see the exact same kind of playstyle. All 15 rounds overtime happen. I mean, this is just absolutely insane. Reading room, will be the final sight. But I mean, yeah. What are you thinking about Slay right now? How are you feeling about this?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about the site, which I was thinking about, I don't know about this because last time Powerhaus did win it, it was on kind of that fluke where the man didn't pull the trigger as Nomad came down the white stairs. But it still went the way of Powerhaus. They could have gone to somewhere, like Kitchen, where they've won, Mining, where they've won. But instead they're going here, and that could be a risky play, or it could be a big brain play. I don't know. I'm not a comp Siege player. I just cast, and basically make stuff up as I go and say things that are obviously happening. It's my
No,
job.
don't
It's
reveal.
what I do.
Don't pull the curtain away. Don't reveal the truth.
Oh no.
They know. Oh no.
Cut that.
Yeah, cut that out of the broadcast. Just beep everything
the
we
stream.
said. Cut the stream. We'll replay the round.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of replay the round, Raided's basically just replaying all that info to his team outside. As you can see, Phyllis and Glyph and X20. Oh, not X25. I'm used to the Nomad. I just assume it's X24. Big guy on the Nomad, I should say. He's also basically been on Nomad their entire attacking half. So, got to give it to them. Dedicated flank watch, rocking out with almost second, when not tied with Habini, but second in terms of kills. He's putting in the work too, and another star player for Powerhaus. And Habini and Big Guy, they're both going to have to put in the work if they want to try and win this round out. It's a very loose upstairs hold, as I believe it's just a Steam and Blastful up top with seemingly not too much utility dedicated. Some ADSs, magnets, and reinforcements, but nothing in the way of deployable shields or anything that the attackers actually have to physically destroy. Phyllis and Clank will make their entry inside of Christmas and start to apply the pressure that Valkyrie should be feeling. Goyo Shield will be destroyed. Mr. B also sitting back on those white stairs. He's going to be a thorn in the side of the attackers, and it's just about to heat up. I can feel it.
Oh my goodness. I love in chat. A lot of the players for teams are in there enjoying the site. It has been such a great game tonight. I feel like everybody should be here. So thank you, all 148 people watching right now. We appreciate you and we love you. Minute to go as Powerhaus looks to crush these guys. Nobody has fallen on either side, but the offense is now taking a little bit of that vertical control. But what is that I see beeping on the ceiling? That is a pre-placed nitro. That isn't gonna happen. Blastful does take down Phyllis. That's a good pick onto the sledge. And now the advantage does go to Valkyrie of man. Round 15, double overtime match point. It'll end here, but where will it end is the question we look to answer. Seems still holding angles. A lot of guys still holding angles. Cliff running around in sight, wanting to go for a plant eventually. But look at this, as Blastful taking out Crank. Now he 3v5, the double kill for the Omai. He's come alive this map. He's ready to go. A triple kill as Glyph goes down. He wants the ace. He wants it all, but he'll be going down. Now it's all upon one as the team takes down Big Guy. Habini, the man who could do anything, is going to have to clutch this up. In a 1v3 with just under 50 HP, this is going to be so hard, and with no time and no diffuser, there is no chance to get it done. We, ladies and gentlemen, are heading to Consulate.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a series. Taking all 30 rounds for us to get there, but we finally made it, and god damn it, if we don't have another great match in store for you on Consulate. I mean, oh my gosh, Slay, do I have the energy for this? Do we have the energy for this? We're gonna be going so late, man. This is gonna be. I can't even.
5 hours, man. Already at 5 hours.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. X24, he typed nuclear in chat. Absolutely the adjective he should be using. I mean, absolute banger of a performance coming out from that player. Going into map 3, this is literally anybody's match. I don't have a prediction. I really don't. It can go either way. Both times it's come down to the very last round to decide who ends up taking that map. And honestly, this is going to be no different, without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, well, guys, we're going to take a short break, just a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back for this epic final map. So don't leave us. We'll be right back. It's going to be insane.
We'll see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final map of a series that has quite honestly been insane and fun and crazy and just one of the best ever I've ever seen to this point in time. It's Powerhaus going up against Valkyrie. I'm Slayzilla, joined by the Lynx. And Lynx, dude, it has been a long day.
It's been a little bit long. It's been a little bit long. It's been long. That's I tried to think of another word, but it's been long.
It has.
Speaking of long, it's been a long time since I've seen Thatcher get played. He'll be banned the second map in a row. No way we see another. If we see an IQ ban, that'd be insane. Like, I mean, we saw how effectively it worked last time. Excuse me. I also just burped. We're 1 for 1 for burps so far this broadcast. That'd be insane if Valkyrie. No, instead they'll ban the Nomad. And now
Get out of here, X24.
yeah, I was about to say that's a big nerf to Big Guy and X24, who both played insanely well on the Nomad. And for Consulate, both these bans are pretty expected. Nomad especially. You put those air jabs on common runouts like Yellow Stairs or V7 with her off the board. Powerhaus is going to have a lot more room to play with. So it's a bit curious that Valkyrie, starting in the attack, chose to ban her out.
Yeah, the Nomad ban is going to make this a very dangerous place to be attacking, as runouts are a big thing here in Consulate. And Valkyrie is definitely looking to get some. You can tell by that ban is now Powerhaus will find the final ban. Let's see who it's going to be. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Mirror Echo? Oh, it is going to be Echo.
It's Echo. Cool. Oh.
You're a scary boy.
For Consulate, nothing all that crazy. These are pretty standard bans. I mean, the IQ, we got an IQ ban last match. I think they've earned the right to have some pretty standard bans this map. So nothing, that stands out too much. Nothing I disagree with. And honestly, we're about to expect Consulate, but it's not just Consulate. It's Valkyrie versus Powerhaus Consulate. So it's about to be insane.
I was going to mention that, man. We might be on like 3 pretty vanilla maps, but all 3 of these are sure to be absolutely insane. 2 of them, even though we've already seen both those maps today, but it just felt so fantastically fun. I just loved it. It's crazy how much a game, or how much, I guess, the players can change the game. Maps can get boring, but not when these 2 teams are going head-to-head. So much fun. So much fun. Round 1 starting in the downstairs basement of Cafeteria Garage. It will indeed be... Who on defense? I checked, but then I forgot because it's late and my brain is not working.
It's fine. We'll see it. We'll see in about 2 seconds. So don't worry. You don't even have to check your notes. It's gonna be Powerhaus. There you go.
Powerhaus back on the defense.
I think this is a very good map to be playing because Consulate, over the course of its lifespan, and especially recently, has started to become a bit more attacker-sided. So Valkyrie do have the advantage going in, but honestly, I say attacker-sided, but Consulate most of the time can be pretty much about dead even. And it really does come down to how the teams play each site and how the teams work their strats and really who is... It's a really good equalizer to find out who is the better team at the end of the day. It's been in the game so long, you really have to be on top of it and know every facet of this map. And Basement being the first site, no surprise. Second floor used to be the site most favored by the defense, but since then it's fallen out of favor as well. It kind of sucks to defend and everyone knows how to attack it. And while people know how to attack Basement, there's still much greater places to hide, much more room to grow and room to make strats and think about where you want to play.
Oh, yeah. So, shout out to Cheeks telling us to keep it up. Thank you, man. I needed that. It's very
we're trying, man. We're trying. Trying our best right now.
Oh, absolutely, man. So, we do see only one hard breach here, which is interesting. I thought we were going to see a nice little...
Ooh, only Hibana, too.
Might come. Yeah, just the Hibana. So, we will see most likely the Sledge. Almost said Valk, but Valkyrie is on defense and also banned. But we'll see the Valkyrie Sledge, the Sledge on Valkyrie, most likely go into Piano, try to break it up and take down that pesky Mute Jammer, unless they can do it in a different fashion, which the Ash might be able to take care of. And, well, that's really all the breach denial they have brought. They're focusing a lot on this. Oh, my goodness, that's not gonna work. Crack finds one, but a nice little... Oh, man, that was a nice little Claymore. Is going to take down our man Habini. Down goes the utter legend. Trying to get a run out with the freaking P10 Roni. Just going for it.
Yeah, Habini just got read like a book. He knew exactly what that Mozzie or what somebody on Powerhaus was going to do, and as a result, they're dead. Mr. B getting taken out. It's not great, but thankfully they have the Capital, who... Well, they have the Capital and the Ash. The Ash fills that role of destructing. The Capital, well, he can set you up for those executes. But it's always not fun being down a man, and Mr. B, who's shown to just be lockstep behind X24 in terms of fragging, he'll certainly be a missed presence on Valkyrie's attacks. Frag grenades will fly down. Maestro being run means they'll take out the staple evil eye behind White Van. No longer will be a problem, but one thing that is certainly concerning is the fact that Hibana is their only hard breacher. Maverick and Thermite have both been unbanned, but it's just the Hibana that's being brought. Not to say that their attacking lineup isn't good, it certainly is, but it's just they don't have a lot to work with in terms of breaching, and they'll have even less to work with in terms of soft breaching now that Crank has taken out X24. That's your star player too, and he just cannot be stopped. He takes out a Steam to back on top of that, and Rated and Blastful, they're the only attackers left. They take out the Smoke, and now they take out the Maestro as well. It doesn't even matter. Raid is just in the sight. Big Guy takes down one more from the hatch, and now it is just Rated, that only hard breacher left in a 1v2. I had to get a cough out there, but the action's so relentless, I had to lean away from the mic. Trying to get the plant down. 20 seconds remaining, and the defenders, they aren't pushing him. They're just going to let him get the plant down, and now Rated, he can back off, but they have the hole being watched with that rotate back through garage. Oh, this is not working out. Slay, you get it.
Oh, that Bearing 9 is ready to do some 26 bullets ready to go in 30 seconds to defend this bad boy. I could see Rated clutching this up. Just like that, the triple kill, he's got to go for the quad, and now it's Big Guy, the SMG-11 versus the Bearing 9, the battle of two SMGs. He finds it through the wall, are you kidding me? Big Guy, Powerhaus, takes it and will be able to get the defuse in one of the craziest, most fantastical kills I've ever seen to clutch a defuse in a 1v1. Oh my goodness.
This man saw Rated for 0.5 seconds, and he said, I know exactly where you're going to be, and he lined him up through the wall, and all he did was spray that SMG-11. All 17 bullets went right into the head of the Hibana. I mean, you gotta hand it to Rated. What a round. Single-handedly, almost, bringing it back in the favor of Valkyrie. But then that shot coming out from Big Eye, just... that round. That's the kind of match we're going to have. I can already tell. Yeah. Imagine that's going to be 14 more times. Calling it right now.
For a total of 45 rounds. Just
oh my god, I can't even count that high, dude. That's.
Oh my goodness, man! Imagine if both the series had like 45 rounds for a total of 90 rounds cast.
Can you imagine if Visionary Granny Frost went the whole distance? We would be on like map 1, maybe beginning of map 2 right now for Powerhouse.
They most likely would have started without us, which would have been a shame. But
oh, true. Can you imagine if we had missed even a frame of this matchup? That would have been a shame in and of itself.
A tragedy and a travesty, perhaps.
Speaking of tragedy, I'm learning I shouldn't have eaten a bit of a snack beforehand because I have something in my throat and it is just making me cough. I think I got rid of it though, so I think we're all good. Thank you for covering me at the very last second. Speaking of bomb sites, I said earlier, second floor out of favor, Tellers in favor, and we're gonna see the exact same hold that you see every Teller's defense. Except normally you actually see more C4s than are currently on the board. You always see a Pulse, and you typically see a Mira and a Mute as well. But normally you'd see maybe a Goya or a Kayat as well, really anybody with a C4. So Powerhouse, they're actually playing it a bit more relaxed on that secondary utility than we would normally see. So that's going to be one big issue going into this attack, is trying to bait out all of those C4s. And as you saw, the floor, it just gets shot out. So you really have no safe place to plant in that Teller site, and really nobody goes for a downstairs execute. So if all you have left is that Tellers, and look at that. It's like Swiss cheese, or what's the cheese with holes in it? I can't remember. Is it Swiss cheese?
It's Swiss cheese, yeah.
It is Swiss cheese. Okay, yeah. You got a floor like Swiss cheese. Valkyrie, especially, and now that they don't have an IQ, despite the fact she's unbanned, won't be able to spot this Pulse. Gonna have some problems going in this, to say the least.
Oh, absolutely, man. This is gonna get a little bit insane. If Powerhouse really put on a good open show, it'd be great for them. But the thing is, you really can't be calling rounds or games or anything between these two because they're so well matched up. Literally one of the best games I've ever seen right here in ESA Siege. It has been phenomenal, fantastic, and a battle to the very ages. These guys have already played 31 rounds. They're on their 32nd now, and they're looking to keep going. The mental fortitude, like you mentioned, back in the days of cafes, is just insane. Here we go. Starting to make moves in, about half the round left. They want to get in and start fragging up as soon as possible. Make sure the pressure is on to Powerhaus. These opening picks are oftentimes pretty indicative of which way it's gonna go, but oftentimes, or other times perhaps, it doesn't mean anything. So we'll see if it does happen, and will it mean something big, or will it just be, once again, nothing? We'll check. Let's see. So with Valkyrie just on the edge of trying to tie this up, will they be able to do it with a minute left? I don't know, but they have a good chance.
They're certainly taking their sweet time. I can't appreciate that. They're making sure no stone is left unturned. No hole in the floor is left unmade. To try and get as many angles onto that bomb site down below as they can. The defenders, they're lying in wait. They have those 3 C4s in their pocket. They have the heartbeat sensor from Glyph. The defenders, they have all the intel and more that they need. The longer Valkyrie wait, the more time Powerhaus has, and one will fly out, and it'll find nobody. They're already in a good position for Valkyrie, and now that Crank's off the board, you only have to worry about those defenders left on the bomb site. One more C4 will fly out. Will not find anybody. Big guy gets one, but Mr. B, he gets the refrag. And now it's just up to that last C4 to try and deny the plant. And Rated, he sticks it. He doesn't even care. And Powerhaus, they aren't in the position to deny it. Glyph will continue to relay that information back to his team. Asapini goes for a flank upstairs, but he gets spotted on that drone outside. But the attacker, he doesn't even care. He's just running upstairs. And he doesn't have to. He just has to wait. No, that was actually Habini on the stairs. I got my operators mixed up, but it doesn't matter because they're both dead anyway. It's a big guy and Glyph left to clutch this 2v3 out. Big guy manages to pick up one, but Glyph can't land the shots through the floor. And with both attackers taking their positions up above, well, one taking his position up above and Rated trying to get the wall bang through the wall. He's not going to be able to land it. He'll go for the vault through the window, but he can't get the angle. Will he finish it off? Oh my god, big guy sticks it!
What do you mean?
What do you mean? How do you miss those shots? And Powerhaus knows pros don't fake, and by God, is this man a pro.
What on earth happened there? Can we get an instant
Oh my God,
replay?
he dropped the Lolan chat. He dropped the Lolan chat, boys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that is a tough whiff, man. That is not good. That feels bad, man.
Oh my God, that is so unfortunate. That was a Valkyrie round. I mean, that was that was just such a Valkyrie round. You can't even. What do you say to that? Like, what do you say to that other than that? Just how unfortunate that was. I mean, he literally fired both full clips of both of his guns through the wall and didn't kill her. I mean, he just missed his shots. That's all you can say at the end of the day. And also, big guy somehow. When you see attackers on a teller's site, once they've rotated back up to that second floor, when I say it is borderline impossible for the defenders to retake, I literally mean it is borderline impossible just based off of the gunfights you're taking. You're taking 70-30, 80-20 gunfights, and with a 3-4 man count on the attackers, you're taking 3 to possibly 4 of those. And then somehow, big guy with the Vector, I've already said how bad of a gun that is, threads the needle and lands a shot through the floor. I mean, I still got to give it to Powerhaus. They might not have deserved it, but they certainly did earn it by the end of it with the play they've had.
5 seconds
Absolutely, man. The guy was like a Looney Tune cartoon, you know, just the bullets all around him in a perfect shape. So unfortunate for Valkyrie, as Powerhaus have won a round that might not have been winnable if not for the whiff. So unfortunate for Valkyrie, but Powerhaus, like you said, did earn it. They fought hard. They were able to get the man on the diffuser, which is something to say at least. And what a shot from Phyllis. Goodbye, Blasphil. Already the Capitao down without firing a single bolt. That is unfortunate, man.
That is, dude. That's been Valkyrie so far. It's just been, that's unfortunate. Not their play. Their play has been solid. They just haven't been able to close these rounds out. I don't know if it's the nerves are getting to them or maybe they're just getting plain old unlucky. But it's kills like that's a tilter. That is certainly a tilter. And with your Capitao taken off the board, not only are you possibly tilted, you have some key utility gone. They're going to have to spend more to try and take Crank out on these stairs. One frag grenade has already riffed, and they only have one left. X24 clearly biding his time and trying to wait, making sure that it's not going to go to waste. And he just sees the edge of the pulse, try to go for an aggressive peek on those yellow stairs, but he plays it safe. He runs back, and it's a Steam to make the play on yellow stairs, but he gets one. Big guy, he gets one more in turn, and there goes your entry taken out. No more yellow stairs control. Mr. B, He's repelled outside bathroom, and there's still 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining, and already it is a 3v4. Valkyrie, they're certainly on the back foot, to say the very least.
Oh my goodness, man.
Oh.
Well, you know what, Valkyrie, take it back to a X24, has always been a great fragger, and he will continue to be so. So it's down to Glyph, Habini, and Phyllis. That's a good squad, man. Glyph, Habini, and Phyllis. Habini and Phyllis, huge names. But Habini dead is not what you want to see. X24, I'm telling you, this guy's scary. And at this point, it definitely could go the way of Valkyrie unless something unfortunate, as we say, happens again. A series of unfortunate events was a book series I once read, and it might just be happening here. We'll have to see, man. That was a long time ago. I think they made a movie out of it or something with Jim Carrey.
They did.
Never
They made a couple, actually. They've made
Really?
a couple. They made a movie with Jim Carrey, and they made a series on Netflix. And, oh, by the way, it's just making a series of getting these kills on this Hibana. He gets one, and X24, he continues that series with a finale on this round, taking out Glyph. I believe that was a 3K for X24 on the sledge. And, hey, great job clutching that 3v4. It's not often you see them be able to, with the opening pick not going in their favor, and... Phyllis getting that shot on the Capital repelled on the window. It's not often you see an attacking team be able to bring back those rounds. But on the back of X24 and his teammates that are always there when they need them, gotta hand it to them. They were doing a damn fine job.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You know,
See, I'm still stuck on a series of unfortunate events. That was a good one. I'm gonna be honest, for my own personal pleasure, I'm definitely that's gonna be a meme I'm gonna make with Albini just getting outlined through the wall on Mira inside of Tellers. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm just going to make one for my own pleasure, because that's a moment that people are going to remember. That's even if Powerhaus end up losing this game, they're going to be like, remember when someone on Powerhaus was defusing and he got outlined in bullets by 2 separate guns? And then everyone will laugh, and then we'll just get sad.
Oh my gosh, man. You know, I'm getting tired, so
Attackers have located a bomb.
feeling right now, because it takes a whole lot more mental power to play this game for I don't know how many hours they've been playing. It's hard because we've had 2 series.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute, to say the least.
So I mean, they got to be tired too, right? I mean, a lot of these guys on the East Coast, it's getting late. You know, we're looking at 12:40, 3.5 hours just for these 2.
10 seconds left.
That's insane. That's about 2 and 2 and a third maps in 3.5 hours. Oh my goodness, man. We are looking at a very series. Good grief. And boy, oh boy, has it been fantastic. I just hope that I'll have enough energy at the end of the night to give it a a worthy ending, a worthy casting ending, I should say.
We're trying to power through it, and so are the teams. I'm sure they are just as exhausted as we are. And they've actually exhausted all the bomb sites as well. This will be the 4th one, and we'll have played all 4. Basement, Tellers, and Console were before this, and now with Lobby, that seals out all 4 bomb sites on this map. Bringing the Mira, something that was banned last time, she'll be brought this time, and as we saw earlier, Mira being used in bathroom. Pretty standard setup, all things considered. Lobby's not a very complex site. It's played very often, but the setups usually are pretty similar. You have a couple holding up top, and then, well, yeah, it really depends. If you have an up top hold, you have 3 up top. If you have a downstairs hold, you have 3 on the bottom. It really just depends. And so far, we have the 2-3 up top. Crank on yellow, big guy in console, and Phyllis on inside a projector. He lobs with C4 outside on a death balk, and there's a reason it's called death balk. It's because most time you go there, you don't end up surviving. In the Capital, he'll be the opening frag for the 2nd time in a row. But hey, Valkyrie lost the opening frag last time. Capital was the one taking out, and we all know how that round ended up going. So this certainly isn't out of favor for Valkyrie, but I'd be lying to you if I said it's, despite that, still not looking a bit dire.
Yeah, a bit dire is correct. I want to go back to when we were on console though, or yeah, the upstairs, because we saw Kaiser draw a nice little map for us, and he put a Jaeger on those yellow stairs, and there was indeed a Jaeger on those yellow stairs. So you know what? Great job by him. It was a beautiful illustration. Perhaps if you're lucky one day, he'll show it to you, or you can buy it off of eBay for like $3,000, because Kaiser is a beautiful, beautiful artist. and his art is even more beautiful than him. Oh, but that's a beautiful shot from V24, taken down. I say V24, X24, and Mr. B takes down Glyph as well. All of a sudden, it's a 4v3 in favor of Valkyrie. This is what I'm talking about. This team, Valkyrie, can turn these situations around so quickly, but someone's getting lit up there. He's going to have to duck and cover. That's X24 once again getting fragged upon, but Mr. B takes down Habini. And all of a sudden, 2v4 not looking exactly great. Rated, looking for the defuser. It will go down. And now Powerhaus is in jeopardy of being tied up in a 2-2. Beautiful shot onto the Hibana 2v3 from Crank. Crank, a great operator, but big guy goes down, tries to pick himself up. He will be shut down from X24. The double kill comes out, and with 30 seconds left, this is going to be a hard retake. Good grief, can he do it? I just don't know.
He definitely can. I mean, it would take Valkyrie literally throwing themselves at him, not shooting back, and their monitors completely turned off for Crank to win this out. And it's not going to happen. You might get one kill for his troubles. He's flirting with one up top. It is X24 on low HP, but it's not going to matter. He's going to throw away, have a little bit of a spasm on the screen for good measure. And there we go. Crank, he'll make a run for it, but it's not going to happen. Valkyrie, they even it 2-2 by winning that lobby attack. And honestly, Powerhaus, they're just... I'm getting a bit worried. The fact that they're just throwing man advantages like that, throwing opening pick and taking out those high impact operators early on, and then still losing the round and giving away kills, it's making me worried for these final two defensive rounds if that continues to be a theme as it has in these past two rounds.
It is true, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, Powerhaus is a great team. They're able to come back from what once was a 2-4 defending half for them. But can they do it again after 3.5 hours of play? I just don't know. Heading back to Cafeteria Garage, this was a good sight for them. I guess it did come down to a very, very crazy clutch. Was it rated on the Hibana? They're now Thermite. Insane, man. The man almost had it. Came down to that 1v1 where some insane shots came out, and at the end of the day, it was Powerhaus who walked out. So, you know, it did start off well, but the insane plays of Rated turned it around. I'm excited to see if this will go differently. Once again, only the mute will be brought to deny potential hard breaching, and that's going to be all. A lot of big operators, though. You got the mute and the Mozzie combo, very, very synergized, as we say, and then right now, Habini just not pulling the kills we're used to.
Only 4 rounds in. Let this man, just let him rest. He's had a... You would be wrong if you said he hasn't had a hell of a performance today. And you know what? If he's quiet this match, it certainly won't be good for Powerhaus. But at the very least, it'll be understandable. I mean, the man has played some insane Siege and put up some outstanding numbers these past 2 maps. And I won't blame him if he's a bit tuckered out and his energy is all but spent, as I'm sure it is for both of these teams. One thing I am surprised by, though, is the lack of Maverick we've seen this entire series. He was unbanned last map, and he has been unbanned this map, but we're not seeing him at all. Maverick is brought because he can, Maverick trick, and that is, for many teams, a replacement for their hard breach. You might see a Thermite and a Maverick brought, or Hibana and a Maverick brought, but we've recently seen if Maverick is on the board, teams Maverick that garage door instead of solely relying on the Thermite, and he can just cut through those mute jammers and hard breach denial and not have to worry about it possibly destroying any of his gadgets because he just cuts straight through the wall. Instead, they'll have to go upstairs, destroy the floor and piano, and take out those 1 or 2 mute jammers, which it looks like they are. X24 currently inside of Antechamber. Will fire some shots down onto the shield that big guy is currently playing behind, but since he knows he's there, he can just open up a few cursory holes and not worry too much, but he should start to worry. Hopefully his team has some drones on Crank, who's currently sitting on yellow stairs and is in a right position to try and flank down. And yes, we see one attacker. He's holding the flank and making sure that Crank doesn't try and run down and make any sort of, cranked plays.
Oh boy, man. So it's about half the round left. 2-2 right now. Valkyrie looking to take the Powerhaus is looking to take the lead back. Right now, Valkyrie has not had the lead for this map yet. And that's something we don't often say. Usually they're the ones who are kind of controlling, but Crank gonna take down Mr. B. What a shot as the... Who said Valkyrie, man? What's wrong with me? It's their stupid team name. I hate it.
Bias caster.
Sophia. No. I love everybody equally. You're all my favorite children, as my mom says. It's a lie. I'm not the favorite. Just kidding. But Zofia down. Unfortunate for Mr. B, as Zofia is a pretty solid operator, but good grief if they opened up a large chunk of the garage. That is a significant opening, as, yeah, you can do a lot with that. All they have to do is try to get in and get the plant. Once the plant goes down, Lynx, it's going to be very hard to have a retake.
Absolutely, but we have seen Power lose the man advantage before, so it wouldn't be unheard of for Valkyrie to have a chance in this round, and they start to bring it back. As Steam takes out Crank. Oh, and he tries to get one more kill on the Maestro, but the 90-degree flick by Phyllis. He'll pick up one, he'll pick up two, but the plant goes down nonetheless. Rated takes out one, but not before he gets down by a smoke grenade. And what do you know? It's X24, the machine that disguises himself as a human, left upstairs. He takes down one. The Mozzie ran out, so he knows exactly where at least one of those defenders is. He'll continue to bait! And a beanie! The star player, he's woken up, and he threads the needle through those vending machine railings. And X24 is right. You're good, but Habini's just better this round. And Powerhaus take that third round on defense.
Oh my gosh, man. This has been the best series of my entire life. Oh my goodness.
What was that shot? What was that shot? I mean, like, what was that? I have no words. I have no words for that. I mean, he was outside, marked, and he just said, you know what? I'm going to peek it. And he headshots the man through the railing. That is a tight angle, especially when you're literally marked on the opponent's screen for your exact position. I mean, just these stones on Habini right now. I can't even. I yield
you're
my
talking
time.
about utter skill, man. Habini, you know, I was kind of, oh man, I'm sorry, Habini. Didn't mean to like that.
Yeah, he heard us.
Breathe.
He was like, quiet. I'll show you quiet. I'll send him to bed, and that's when they'll be quiet.
Oh my goodness. Back to lobby though. Interesting choice to have right back here.
Attackers need to locate
I
and
do
defuse as many
believe
bombs as they can.
Teller Archives is open. It's been a hot minute since they've been there. That was a very close and sketchy one. Tries to go for the synchronized reinforcement, just misses it, man. I'll give that a 6 out of 10 if this were the Olympics. Not that good. We need to see better from this team. But, Lynx, this is the last time they're going to have a chance to defend, and they're using it right here in the lobby.
I mean, they don't really have a good place to go. The only site they've won both times has been basement. And as you said, the other site they won, the third one, has been Tellers. But that was on the back of really just a throw and a half by Valkyrie, a round that absolutely should have gone their way. But again, there's no other way to say it. It was a thrown round without a doubt. And Powerhaus, they are up 3-2 as a result. So Lobby's probably their best bet. They're probably going to have to make the adjustment to hold a lot harder upstairs and not be pushed out so easily. They had 3 bodies up there last time, but they were all kind of spread out. Not all that close to each other, but then more importantly, they also have to make sure they're not throwing those man advantages. They made sure to fix it last time on basement, just, well, about a minute and a half ago. They didn't throw that man advantage. So going into this round, Powerhaus certainly look favored if they continue that streak.
Yeah, can they continue? It is a big question, though, because you got Powerhouses on the enemy team for them, like X24, looking absolutely phenomenal. Explosions.
Where was that? Where was that C4?
I don't know.
It looked like he. Okay, so it didn't. He wasn't actually under him, but it looked like it was like right under him.
The man survived it, and one C4 down. Thermite gonna open up this hatch with those exothermic charges, looking beautiful as ever. Now this is a very hard site, like we mentioned, to kind of retake from, as you get the second floor and you can just fire down on them. And that can be very tough. So I'm excited to see if that's going to be a case that we end up watching, as right now, with just about 1:40 to go, they have not taken too much control. They're still kind of sleeping around. You got a lot of guys upstairs, though, 2 of them, as well as 2 for 2. 2 guys on each team upstairs looking to find each other out. Half the round is gone. Half the round remains. This is going to get big. And big guy looking for a featsy. He's going to find the ankle of X24. He's going to move off. Got to be careful, man. Ankle biters will get you eventually.
Certainly will. If my time in Call of Duty Zombies has taught me anything, crawlers can be the doom of you when you're not looking, and that's exactly what might have happened. X24 will take some damage early on. I say early on, but there's only a minute left. 2/3 of the round has passed. But now Valkyrie are looking to make an execute over by that front door. X24 continuing to try and make this upstairs clear work, but they are just not giving up these angles. Big Guy and Habini both playing well, on the inside and on the outside of this Mira, but instead, a curious rotate from Hibini will rock right into X24's crosshairs, and now it is just Big Guy the Doc left upstairs. He picks up one, but not the second, because he gets shot from behind by X24. I guess that single-handed roam clear up top managed to work out, and now Blastful, he's in a position to try and get the plant down, but nobody's covering him, curiously enough. Crank will just peek and take out the Thermite. Now Diffuser's down in sight. Mr. B's down from below, going to try and go for a flank up yellow stairs, and the other two, one's outside main door, and X24 will provide the coverage up top. But again, they just do not have that diffuser, and with Crank taking down X24 through the ceiling, it's going to be a lot harder. Refrag City, Mr. B takes out one, Phyllis takes out the other. Esteem, you don't have time. You've got to go for the kills. Maybe he'll try to bait out the plant, but it won't even happen. He fires a lot of shots at a whole lot of nothing, and he'll try to get the plant down just a bit too late, and Powerhaus end the half at a 4-2 scoreline. Wait for a second. It seemed like they weren't going to find him, but he'll just let up.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. So this is a really good beginning, because for the first time, it's Powerhaus with that 4-2 half in their favor. I believe every first half has been in Valkyrie's favor. I'm seeing a lot of Valkyrie written down. Yeah, both times, once on attack, once on defense, they were able to go 4-2. So this is a great beginning for Powerhaus. This is going to make it a lot harder on the guys of Valkyrie, but they switch over to the defense. They have a chance now to make that little bit of a comeback. Once again, I see a very close game as we head downstairs the cafeteria garage. This is where things are going to get intense. This final half, this is it, man. This is the half that'll end it all. I mean, there's no more maps after this. Unfortunately, this isn't a best of 5. Thank goodness.
Oh my God.
It ends here.
Yes, absolutely. Every single half in this entire series has ended 4-2, and it's been in the favor of the attack twice, and it's been in the favor of the defense once. That was on Cafe, but we're not on Cafe. We're on Consulate. But if this match continues following precedent, then overtime doesn't seem like a possibility. It seems like inevitability that will go there. But again, we still have 6 rounds to see if we end up making it. Powerhaus on the attack, their lineup's pretty standard, nothing all that crazy. Instead of the, actually, I was about to say instead of the sledge, but we see both Hibini on the sledge, the operator he got 22 kills with on Clubhouse, and Glyph going on the Buck. Maybe just to make sure that if one of them goes down, you still have ample soft destruction up top, and, well, they certainly have it in spades, to say the least. Also, Buck with flash grenades. He doesn't have frags anymore, but he still can clear out ADSs with them, and no Wamai being brought means they don't have to worry too much about it, and they've only got to throw about 6 flashes total in order to render Jaeger's gadgets completely off the board.
Oh yeah, they do have a good chance to try to take them down. Once again, we're not really seeing much for the breach denial here. Just the mute is all they decide to go with, and those will be placed there ready to go. Gives a little bit of an opportunity to waste some time as Valkyrie takes the defensive edge. X24 looking pretty dang good right now. The man has delivered every round as Blastful struggling a little bit for the first time in a while. He usually does kind of warm up later into the rounds, and we might see that come into play, but Powerhaus in a very powerful position. We talk about taking the driver's seat. Well, they most definitely are in a little bit of the driver's seat now. That said, 4-2 is to be expected on most defender-side maps, so is it really that much of a driver's seat at all? Sod that will soon change as Valkyrie takes the defense. That is to be answered, and I think it's a phenomenal question. Thank me for asking it.
Thank you very much, and again, we'll see the answer this round upon which trend we'll see going into these later rounds. Blasto was the sole defender upstairs, trying to waste as much time as he could, and he wasted a minute, and he'll join his teammates down below, the mute and the castle to be specific, as soft destruction rains out. A frag grenade will fly in. I'm not entirely sure what that frag grenade was. I think he just lobbed it through connector, but Hibini, your teammates are all already in there. You didn't have to. Maybe I'm just mistaken. Maybe I saw wrong, but it looked like Hibini just tossed a frag grenade at a whole lot of nothing, and he'll be down one going into this. Okay, so he did throw it in the piano. Okay, got mixed up for a second. So, hey, not a bad frag grenade. It didn't hit anything, but hey, better than I previously thought. But going into this minute, they still have to clear X24 out of bathroom. The laser sight on the door could signify to the Capital or the sledge that X24 is playing in there. As with the mute jammers, you won't be able to get any drones inside. They're going to have to take a straight gunfight, or else they risk X24 just running down the hatch and fading away with it. And they're just still stalling out. They're letting the mute play in there. He's got a C4 on the board on top of that. And if they don't pay attention, he can just use those same holes from above they're destroying. But no, instead, Habini, he reads into that, uses the very hole the defenders made in the prep phase against him, taking out the mute from behind. That's the exact kind of foothold Powerhaus need going into the rest of this round. There's still 4 defenders on site, and the Maestro and Smoke on the board means this is still certainly in the favor of the defense. Marks coming out will signify that the Jaeger's playing behind the shield. He just sees the back of him, and he's no. The kill is just so close, and Habini, he'll finish it off, bring it that final 5%. And Valkyrie, they're just not having it. Habini gets one more, Crank picks up another one, and it's just the Maestro left in a 1v5. It doesn't matter if Phyllis gets the plan down or he gets finished off. It's a flawless round for Powerhaus either way. They look dominant on their first attacking round.
I think dominant might be a little bit of an understatement. They look absolutely. I feel like dominant, it can't be an understatement. That is like as far as you can go. They are dominant. That is heavy-handed, man. They are dominant because they just got a flawless round. And they looked so good doing it. Everything worked out well for them, including the little butt shot onto the Jaeger that forced them out into Habini's line of sight. Habini back on Sledge is something I enjoy. He did pretty good on Ash, but I mean, just the Sledge did.
Something about that L85, man. Something about that L85. Man. Habini just grabs it, and it's just magic.
It really is. It's like his magic wand. He goes for it. So we'll take the Hibana over the Thermite. Zofia comes out, Capitao, and Buck. Seeing a Mira, so a couple of potential C4s will be seen as we head to our next site, our second site for the half of Valkyrie on defense. It's going to be Lobby here. Lobby, a site that so far has seen mixed results, once won by the defense, once won by the offense. And here, Valkyrie is going to look to try to keep themselves alive, because at this point, they are in peril of being in a match point within the next round. I mean, I feel like Powerhaus is threatening a potential 7-2 if they continue playing the way they have. I say that a little bit too early, I think, but I mean, Powerhaus looks to be on fire right now. They've won 3 rounds in a row, looking for 4. Insane, man. They are insane.
It is. Valkyrie really have to start capitalizing on the mistakes of Powerhaus or stop making mistakes of their own. With this Mira coming out from Blast, we'll likely see him put one in bathroom, and as I believe you can see, there is one right there. We'll see if they replicate the Powerhaus strategy, which is to have one down below, and then have one up top for, I wouldn't say extended hold. It's, I guess in terms of the X-axis, they're not that far away. In terms of the Y-axis, they were a bit far away. But either way, that upstairs hold, that Powerhaus dedicated about 3 men to, including 1 black mirror. But instead, no, the mirror will be playing on site, and so will most people, and actually be people playing downstairs, which for Lobby is not that uncommon. Pulse and Bandit will have the 2 C4s, and we'll try and go to the Knight from below. Usually what will happen, we'll see Rated back here playing all the way back in Archives. They'll have the lobby hatch open, and he'll try to line it up, chuck a C4 through that hatch, and deny the plant, just to see, yep, there you can see. Is that open? Yes, it is open. I couldn't tell because of the floor. But with that open, both the Bandit and the Pulse could be in a prime spot to deny that plant at lobby door, where it usually goes down.
Let's see if that is going to be a problem. Valkyrie finds first kill on the big guy. Bye-bye, says the lovely Capitao. He's gone. Killed almost immediately. And now we have just 2 minutes to go. And Valkyrie looking very, very strong off the bat. The Capitao down is unfortunate. A lot of utility that will be lost here as Phyllis running around as the Hibana, trying to get things going, opening up hatches. Habini as well has definitely picked up what little slack he was slacking, because the man doesn't slack much at all and is now even at 5-5. Habini, however, will be down. Will he be finished as well? Just might be. Looks like he can be picked up there by Glyph. Very nice job to keep him alive. That man is someone you want on the board. Good grief. As now with just under half the round left, they are going to be looking for some very impactful frags that they absolutely need. As I don't know, Blast. Oh, he's trying to get up on top. Okay, very, very cool indeed. Look at this. Look at this. What an angle. He's gonna just fire from them on top of the lovely little stall he's found there. The toilet can be incredible, apparently. And now with under a minute to go, the execution must come out quite soon. And at this point, I feel like Valkyrie have a pretty solid hold on everything. It's going to be tough for them to come in and try to win this one out, as we're looking to burn out an ADS and take down the shield, perhaps, looking to win the round. As this is getting sketchy, Glyph takes down Mr. B. A beautiful shot by the Buck. Another comes out, but it's VOK taking down Crank. Crank, now someone you want to lose. A good shot from the Wamai to take him out. Now it is a 3v4 situation with just 25 seconds left on the round. Powerhaus looking a little bit sketchy as everyone on Valkyrie full HP and ready to go, but the plant looks to go down from Phyllis. Will it stick? No, it will not. As C4 takes it down, VOK will find another as X24 and Esteem take them down and take them out, finding their first win of their second half.
Losing that Capital early on was a death blow for Powerhaus. He's useful for so many bomb sites, but nowhere on Consulate could he potentially be more useful than Lobby. Lobby is notorious for being the site where you see smoke execute so often, even after smoke executes became not necessarily the favored way for attacking a site anymore. It was during, I believe, around Invite 2019 is when smoke executes were mostly in the meta. Not to say they're out of the meta, but Capital with a smoke execute on Lobby has been notorious for years now, and him being taken out with those firebolts just dispelled doom for Powerhaus from the get-go, and then they just never really seemed to clamber back. Always losing a bit of HP here and a little HP there, and Habini getting downed, being your top fragger over the course of this series, and the Sledge on top of that.
Attackers need to locate.
It was just a Valkyrie round through and through. Great play to them. And I believe, let me consult my notes real quick. They've won it twice, albeit on two different sides, but so far they have been the kings of lobby throughout this match.
Absolutely, man. Maybe a little bit disputed when we saw that nice play from Valkyrie ones, but 2 out of 3 is a very, very nice for the guys on Powerhaus. We've been going for 6 hours now, so congratulations to us for spending, oh gosh, a
quarter of a day.
Quarter of a day. Oh my goodness. You'll love to see it. So, Valkyrie looking to come back here while Powerhaus wants to force them into a nice little timeout in match point. They want to shut them down, but I just feel us going a very long way. I don't think it's going to be a pushover one way or the other. I think, like you called, we're going for 45 rounds. Just every single second that could be possibly squeezed out of this game will be, because that's just how good of a game it is. The Siege Gods want us to look at it and watch it, and look at these little bullet holes.
Look at how even they are. Look at how even they are.
They're beautiful.
That's so clean. I mean, I hate bullet hole peaks, but I can at least appreciate the artistry behind it. The bulletproof cam on the outside will have information being relayed to Mr. B on whether or not he should be peeking that bullet hole, and he'll actually, I believe, be the only one really up top defending, but he has so much utility dedicated to him, some reinforcements, a bulletproof, and a Goyo shield to hide behind, even some shotgun holes made. Mr. B on this hold, he is stacked, and though he is just one body, he can still waste ample time all on his lonesome. A minute has already passed, and basement being, not basement being the bomb sides, tellers, my bad, I knew that. Sometimes you just make mistakes when you've been casting for 6 hours. It happens to the best of us. But tellers being the bomb site, as I said, there is an uncharacteristic lack of C4s. I mentioned how Powerhaus bringing 3 was generally less than the norm. Well, Valkyrie's only bringing 2, as Castle, Ella, and Jaeger don't have C4s available to them. So they're going to have to be extra careful, and with X24 playing offside, that is extremely dangerous. If he gets picked off early, your sole C4 denial will be blastful, and at that point, Phyllis might just be able to get the plant down.
Plant goes down, that is going to be a great situation for them. As long as we don't see whips come out, the caliber that we saw before. A nice shot from Habini, takes down Esteem. The man don't miss, I'm telling you, he's crazy. But look at that, it's going to be a Gemini, haha, he faked you out. Thought you were getting a kill, but no, it was him all along. The sneaky boy, who's a whammon actually, as, going to be chasing Crackdown. But he goes anyway. Good grief. X24 at low HP. Raiden picks up another. Finally taken down by Phyllis as a 3v3 situation with less than a minute to go. Time is of the essence, and the essence is here to stay. Blastful onto Phyllis. And now Diffuser down in an awkward position. It's Glyph and Big Guy left alone, trying to force a match point. Will it happen with just 40 seconds left? I don't know, but it doesn't look very good. A 1v3 can be winnable, but Glyph is going to have to work awful hard with that G36C. Yeah, this is going to be real tough with just 25 seconds left. I don't know if he can do it.
I don't think he can, and he won't. Blasto picks up the final kill on the Glyph. And I think if you want to stand out engagement that round, it's going to be X24 on that spiral staircase. I thought as soon as that Mozzie was playing up there and people started to apply pressure, I thought he was a dead man, and he got put down to extremely low HP, basically 1 if I do recall, and even chucked that C4, which didn't end up going off. But he despite all that, got the kill onto Crank, the Zofia. And sure, he got refragged later on, but that started the momentum and the comeback for Valkyrie. And I think if that engagement goes the other way, we're looking at match point right now.
Oh, absolutely, man. Without a doubt. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Back downstairs to the garage. This is where the potential flawless rotation comes out from the guys on Valkyrie. They've gone to lobby. They've won it. They've gone to archives. They've won it. And now they go downstairs to garage. And a 6-pick to Blackbeard is a little bit intriguing. You don't really see him often. I mean, you saw him a lot back in the days of 500 HP on his stupid shield, but no longer.
Yeah.
He's brought, I feel like he's usually brought when teams are kind of memeing about, but now is not the time to be memeing about. So I'm sure there must be a reason he's here to play.
I mean, I'm sure there is. We'll likely be seeing Habini play the traditional Blackbeard role, I suppose, which would be flank watch, kind of getting an upside down repel, maybe on yellow stairs. But 6-picking from the IQ to the Blackbeard is a curious decision because either way, initially there was the Vigil, then that was 6-picked away. But you can spot the Vigil with an IQ, and you can also spot the Pulse with an IQ. I feel like that would have been a better pick overall, but again, like you said, maybe we might see some specific play come out from the Blackbeard that Habini and the rest of Powerhaus have up their sleeve, but so far going into this, that is definitely a curious pick to start out.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that's going to be able to play out. I mean, it would be nice to see the IQ. I feel like, has IQ even been played that much? She's banned, but...
being banned one map certainly would decrease her pick rate.
I mean, like, in this map, though, has she been played that much at all?
Not that much. Not that much at all.
I really don't remember seeing her very often, so kind of interesting, man. Maybe they... Ooh! Oh my gosh,
no.
He found the head of Blasphel.
Oh no.
The poor man dies often as the first man, and that has got to be just a little bit engaging, infuriating perhaps. But you know what happens to the best of us? You lose your mute, that's C4 off the board, but not incredible utility. You still got your guys like Pulse who can do your pings. You've got your lovely Smoke who can throw smokes, and you've got Maestro who can, well, just blast you to death with his stinking... I'm gonna say smelly again.
You need to stop with these adjectives, man. You need to stop. You're out of control with these smelly adjectives.
I am out of control, man. Oh my goodness. His evil eye. It's because I forget the words and I'm like, aha, I must use.
You thinking like stink eye? Might be
eye.
similar. Evil eye, stink eye. Kind of similar.
Yeah, I mean, let's go with that. That's what I was going for.
I'm here for you, man. I'm trying to here to defend you.
Thank you.
So yeah, actually, probably why the IQ hasn't been in play that much. I just thought Echo and Valk both being banned, and that was, and as you recall in Cafe when she was banned, those were the two main operators that were brought out pretty much every single round on both sides. So with those two operators being banned, you don't have to worry as much about trying to find those hidden black eyes or yokai cams. You can more focus on bringing operators like Capitao, or in the Habini's case, the Blackbeard. Habini normally plays the Sledge, and Glyph decided to bring him this time. He'll continue to break open holes in the ceiling as a Steam will continue to feed the information he finds on his heartbeat sensor back to his team currently playing on the site. We've reached a minute left in the round, and I don't think that garage wall has been opened. No, it has not. Phyllis brought the Hibana. Again, Thermite and Maverick both in play, but they've opted to just bring that So Hard breach, or all three will be used to make a standing hole within that wall, but that means Bathroom Hatch will remain closed. I believe it has been. Oh no, actually it was shot open towards the beginning, so you don't even have to worry. You will have to worry though about Glyph lobbing some grenades down at you, and it'll down the Maestro and get finished off by the Blackbeard. Habini's not necessarily using him for how I thought, but he's getting 2 kills and he can't get shot in the head. So how can you really blame the man for just trying to win his gunfights? 20 seconds left, and now the defenders are an extreme disadvantage, but with smokes and a heartbeat sensor, it's going to be a little bit easier, and it's going to be so much easier if you got a Steam to take out the 2-man at the front door. Crank takes out 1 more, but they've only got 8 seconds to pick up these 2 kills, and they've only got 5 seconds for Crank to finish him off. He finishes him off his teammate, curiously enough, and he won't get the final kill. He only gets 1, and it's a team kill on top of that. Valkyrie finished off the series on what, for the entire time, looked like a powerhouse round until those final 20 seconds.
Absolutely, man. And that's the problem with letting the clock run, because you get rushed. You feel that pressure coming in and you make mistakes, man. You're not like checking those angles that you need to. You're not ADSing and trying to pre-fire. You're getting shot down. And that is what happened here. Very, very rough as Montaigne Almost said Montaigne. Combining the two there. I'm tired, man. This is getting rough. I can't imagine how these guys are feeling. Back to Blackbeard, though. Shield up to shield up. They will go as we're back to lobby. The flawless rotation just happened, and Valkyrie very, very quickly catching up and making some great pace as we head close to the end of regulation rounds.
It's getting scary for Powerhaus. You and I both got worried that this might be a 7-2, but instead, it will be finally made even between both teams, and we have the match that you and I both predicted we would have. Again, still potential that this could be ended within regulation. Not saying that 45 rounds on a guarantee. Kaiser himself is just asking himself the question, as I'm sure he's tired of observing and producing. Not tired of it, but he's just tired in general.
Mm-hmm. It's been a long day, man. It really has been a long day.
I'm happy for it, though. This has been a great game.
It's been phenomenal, man.
If I were to have a long day, this is the kind of match I would want to cast. So, again, who am I to judge?
Been an absolute slugfest, dude. Just throw back to that first map, man, when Powerhaus took it on Clubhouse, and it was just like, what is going on here? This team that we don't really know hasn't exactly performed great in the past, and they just absolutely slapped. It was a great moment, man. I feel like we could have an entire scrapbook of memories just from this one series. It has been that great. Oh, man.
Without a doubt, we could just talk forever about the great moments from this game, and I'm sure everyone watching as well could probably just continue talking about the favorite moments they've had so far. But they'll have to see which team ends up having the most favorite of moments, depending on who wins. It wasn't my best transition, but you know what? Sometimes you got to get the job done. Anyways, a lobby defense coming out from Valkyrie, and Habini playing upstairs. I am really surprised that he's playing this kind of aggressive entry role on the Blackbeard. His movement speed is slowed because he has his shield out, but this hasn't stopped the man, and his shield will get broken by Mr. B. No damage being taken, and Mr. B, he gets some damage himself. The odd one out in that engagement, I suppose, but he's docked, so we can heal right back up. And what do you know? The Capital being the opening frag, no real surprise there. Big guy being taken out. Ironically enough, it's Blastful who was the opening frag on that Capital previously to be the one to take him out, and Mr. B doesn't even care about the shield in front of Habini's face. He just shoots right through it and takes out the American operator. He's still playing inside a bathroom. They're trying to deal with him, but it's almost like they're taking a page out of Valkyrie's book and missing all of their shots through the wall.
That's funny. Well, in a 3v5 situation, things looking a little bit grim for Powerhaus once again. I mean, they had, how long have they been at 5 for? Since round 7. Round 7 was when they got 5, and since then they've been fighting back a double kill for Mr. B. The triple key for Mr. B, as he's going for it all. Get the quad kill. Phyllis now in a 1v5 ace clutch situation. Can he do it? Will he do it? Is he going to be able to do it? I just don't think so, but I've seen crazier things before. He's got a nice gun. Type 89, definitely a formidable weapon, but everyone else has a very nice gun too. A whole lot of very nice guns versus one very nice gun. I mean, usually you can guess the outcome, but of course that is just usually. Phyllis might have something up their sleeve ready to just absolutely go off, but the more we wait... Ooh, nice little flash. You're going to be able to rotate in and die to rated. Flawless round for the Valkyries.
I mean, it can't end like this, right? It can't. Powerhaus, you've come this far. You've done so much, but they're not on match point anymore. They've choked a 5-2 lead, and Valkyrie won 4 rounds in a row on defense. And what do you know, Slay? It would take the team down to win a 4-2 on their half in order to bring it to overtime. It's almost like we've seen this before.
This is where legends are made. Right here. Powerhaus has squandered the lead they gained, but they have a chance to fight back, and the Dokkaebi coming out for the first time of the night. Is that actually going to be stuck?
Habini's just lost in the sauce right now, dude. Man has.
What is he doing, man?
He has lost his mind. He's just like, it's Blackbeard, Dokkaebi. It's like, I guarantee his team's like, come on, man, just pick up the L85. He's like, no, I'm done with it. He's playing whatever he wants right now. I mean, he's still picking up kills, but Again, Powerhouse, they're down. They're down 5-6. This could be the final round of this lengthy and extremely intense series. And I'm just afraid it'll go out on a whimper, man. I want it to go out on a bang so badly.
Absolutely. I want round 15. And
I do
mean,
too.
Valkyrie, they're looking to keep their perfect record here. Definitely one of the most hard fought for victories they'll ever have if they do end up winning. Well, perhaps not ever have it unless we go to all 45 rounds, then I guess you can't really fight much harder than that. But it's really coming down to Powerhouse right now to keep themselves alive, because Valkyrie have performed excellently 4 rounds in a row. 4 rounds in a row, just beautifully. In fact, we just saw a flawless round come out from them. This is a team who's firing on all 8 cylinders, or however many cylinders they want, because they're great, and I don't know much about cars.
Yeah, listen, man, I don't either. There's a reason I cast Siege and not F1. That's to say the least.
Oh, man.
So, actually, I don't know. I have problems recognizing sides through the floor. It's a Teller's bomb side defense. Word was struggling to come to my mind, but it finally has. And we see this exact same setup coming out. Blastful with the C4 playing upstairs, and X24 as well, both playing off-site. Now, I was curious about it last time and was kind of confused as to why they did it, but they did end up winning the round. So, I suppose, who am I to judge? But at the same time, it was also due to a gunfight that probably should have gone Powerhouse's way on Spiral between Crank and X24, going the way of X24, who, again, probably should not have won it. You can't always rely on those gunfights unexpectedly going your way to win these rounds, and so Valkyrie, they're going to have to make adjustments in their play. Blastful's Goyo shield will be taken out, and he'll have to retreat slowly down to Visa stairs, but he's still contesting it aggressively and is in a dangerous position. He'll fire out some TCSG shots. It looks like he missed, but he ended up not, and Glyph being taken down. This might be all she wrote for Powerhouse.
This is a very bad start, man. Can you
Oh,
get the
no.
refrag there?
Oh,
whiffs
no.
the shots, and yeah, dude, things looking rough, but Crank's going to be able to fire back onto Mr. B. Mr. B got a quad kill, I believe, in just the previous round or so. So that's a nice hot hand to get off the board, but you still need to fight back. Once again, time is running low. You got X24 roaming around the mark. Very scary, man, with the Commando 9 in hand. Not the P10 Roni like we've seen before. I think it was Habini who played with that P10. A very interesting weapon, man. It's only gotten like 19 bullets, and that's not an awful lot. Basically, that pistol swings out. Is he going to get it? Blastful takes down Crank. Another kill comes out, and this might be it with less than a minute to go. I just don't know if they can do this. Another kill comes out from Big Guy into X24, but time is of the essence, and the essence is running out quickly. You've still got great control from above and below. They're waiting for anyone to come through, and they will absolutely shred them if and when they do. 30 seconds will be all that is left for this team to get in. Habini with the EBR looks to do something crazy. They have to be able to hit their shots. They have to be able to win their fights, and they have to be able to walk out of here alive. The TCSG is almost out of ammo. Oh my goodness. Do you see that? TCSG out of ammo. How many shots has this man fired?
You don't see that every day.
Oh my goodness.
You certainly do not see that every day. Raid will take out one, and the Steam takes out the final one. And Powerhouse fought tooth and nail to get where they are. But for the final map, we don't have OT. We just have Valkyrie winning the series 2-1. And Powerhouse, they gave us hope. They gave us a chance that we might see the underdog come on top. But it's instead Valkyrie who moved to first place, tied with Slaughterhouse.
Wow. What a phenomenal matchup. I mean, you know what? Powerhouse fought so well. But Valkyrie
You
fought.
got to give it to him.
They did.
You have to.
They gave him a serious run for their money.
I still don't have any words. That's the problem when you try to transition off of things like that. Like, what do I say after that? They've pretty much said everything with the actions they had in game. First map, 8-7 Powerhouse. Second map, 8-7 for Valkyrie. And then the final map sure didn't go to OT, but it was still a 7-5, so close to that overtime. And at the end of the day, it just came down to the little things. It came down to Capital missing his shots on the Mozzie as he dropped down the hatch. It came down to Blastful getting some insane kills with the TCSG, despite the fact that he did end up running out of ammo. But no matter the team you are, whether you're Powerhouse or Valkyrie, you both played some great Siege today. And I believe we do have an interview coming up with, I think, Blastful on Valkyrie, if I'm not mistaken. But we will take a quick break just to get that set up. But we'll see you in just a few minutes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ESA Siege. It has been a crazy night, and there is none more qualified to speak about it than JJ. Dude, what a game it has been. Tell us a little about, just kind of like in one sentence, explain the game, explain the series.
Uh, One sentence. I got one word. Mind
Okay, let's do
blown.
one word.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Some
Absolutely,
of the
man.
peeps I was getting hit with, I was
Mm.
mind blown. But yeah,
So let's go through because we have a lot to talk about. I mean, this went 42 rounds. We saw two double overtimes, and it started off on Clubhouse with you guys going up 4-2 on your attacking half, but then it just seemed to be a attacking sided Clubhouse because they were able to come back. You guys fought into overtime. And what happened, man? I mean, Clubhouse was insane. It was a battle from the beginning, but I mean, how did you guys come in to this matchup? Did you think it was going to be an easy game, or were you expecting a pretty big fight?
um, so the first answer, did we think it was gonna be easy game? Yes and no. Going into the season, we thought like Slaughterhouse was gonna be our main biggest opponent, but then also like we heard rumors that Powerhouse was good.
Mm,
Um, and then like Powerhouse went through some roster struggles and they dropped like two players or something like that. So like we didn't think much of them really. Like they could have shown up and been good, but we really didn't know what to expect
mm,
going into it. So it was kind of like a 50-50. And then for Clubhouse, the first map of the series, I don't think people know this, but like remember last week X24 had to play on the MacBook for the first map.
oh yeah. I mentioned that many times, man.
He was on vacation. That was his first day. He came back last night at like midnight. So we haven't scrimmed with him for a week. We've had subs in. So that was our first map in a week, 8 days really, with him in playing with us. So it took a
Wow.
little bit to get into it. And then there's
Yeah.
also probably a little bit of our own like egos in the way where like we didn't really pull out anything. We just ran hard defaults first them. We kind of just kept using the same strats and just said played a bit better. So our defense is definitely could have been better, but I think the main factor was shaking off the rust. Like our comms, the first 3 rounds with X24 were just a mess. But we
Mm.
figured it out soon, and we transitioned better into the next maps.
Oh, absolutely, man. And actually, I think that was the first map you guys have ever lost so far in this season. You've
Yeah.
been able to 2-0 each team that you've gone up against. So, I mean, it must have been a little bit of a shock. You guys have been so dominant, and I don't know. I was getting a little scared for you guys. But then we went to Cafe. It was your map pick, and I know you said you're kind of keeping the strats and stuff undercover.
Yeah.
Is that still what you're doing here, or did you guys have to bring out some of the big guns?
Uh, Kind of the same thing on that map again with
Okay.
the I think if you look into it, we didn't switch up anything. We just kind of kept
Mm.
playing the same stuff that worked against them, and abusing the bans. Like we had IQ bans, so we just
That
kind of
was nuts. That was
yeah,
insane.
yeah, we pulled out the Echo. I don't know why they didn't ban like a Valk or Echo to make it easier,
Mhm.
but that made it easy for us. The
Absolutely.
hardest thing on um on both of the last two mats, we went down right before regulation, basically. Like we went down 4-6. Like we
Mhm.
couldn't win an attack, and like we finally put it together. So like it was just once we put together those two attacks, we were pretty good. We also
Mm.
like there were so many rounds on all three maps. We're like shout out to those guys. They played us close, but I feel like we were better on almost every round, and like we made the biggest mistake. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
we threw
there
a
were
bunch of
some
rounds
rounds
off.
where there were some interesting rounds where like I can't remember which round it was or who it was, but they were holding an angle on white stairs. It was when they clutched up on reading. And
That was a round we shouldn't have lost. We were in a 3v2 with like 15 seconds left.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, let's move on to our final map, Consulate. It was the the decider map, and it started off with Powerhouse taking a pretty formidable lead, and you guys switched on something for that last half. They won once, and then all of a sudden you guys did not lose. Tell me about that final half there. That was insane.
yeah, on our attacks, like to start the attacks, like the very first round, they went basement, and they like yet again another example of rounds we feel like we shouldn't have lost. We droned that Jaeger 3 times. Every time before he got a kill, we knew exactly where he was and had info on him, and he won all 3 fights on
Hmm.
yellow and 2 fights in spiral. So like just to start that map, it was the same story as map 1 and 2. We were like, okay, we should have won that round. He's not gonna win. He's not gonna do that again where he wins 3 fights with us having active intel on him, right? So the attacks like were really unorthodox for us, and like we only won 2, which isn't normal for us. But
Mm.
once funny enough, the 2 rounds we won were the rounds I got first pick, so I just sat back and I jailed the whole round. Yeah, after that, when going on to defense, we lost our first defense, and we're like, okay, guys, like, calm down. We know that we're better than them. We've been better, like, on every round. We just throw it away, and then we locked in, and then after that, we just went flawless. Like, there's nothing much more to it. We sunk
It
into
was
it,
beautiful.
and everyone played good.
Absolutely, man. Well, I think that's just about all the questions I have. Lynx, do you have anything you want to ask our man JJ here?
No, not really. You really sealed out the deal quite well. Just, I think the only thing we need to ask is how you guys, how you guys feeling? Anything you want to say to anybody watching?
Yeah, feeling good out there game. Always fun games to have, like, that go to distance is always fun for the. It's a little stressful in the game, but after it, you guys had a fun time. So that's what we play for, the compete and stuff. Shout out to the All Wall, all the guys over there in Valkyrie, always supporting us. Shout out A21 Mayo. Shout out Lola Flannery. Shout out Olivia Holt.
Awesome. Well, JJ, thanks so much for joining us again, man. It's always a pleasure having you in the interview booth, and it feels like we're getting quite used to it, man. Every week it seems. So we are going to say goodbye. It has been a fantastic night for Siege, 2 great series. And you know what? I think we have a little bit of a surprise for you guys. So stick around to see the end screen, because you know how I was talking about Kaiser's art? We're going to get a big peek at it. So until next time, this has been ESA Siege saying so much thanks, and have a good night.